Good morning, welcome to Sewing Strip with me, Vicki Carroll. It's a pleasure to be back with you. I feel like I haven't been here for ages. I don't think I've been here for a week. I haven't been anywhere. Just not been here, but it's so lovely to see you. I hope everybody's had a lovely week and a nice sunny weekend. We've got an amazing show today. Cara Ackerman is going to be joining me this first hour, but first we've got the early bird, and then I'll tell you about everything that's coming up today, as there is loads and loads to go through. So, starting with a great early bird. When we talk about some of our favourite products and some of your favourite products, sometimes they're new products, sometimes they're ones that we've seen before. This is one that we launched very early on at the start of Sewing Street and has been one of our favourite gift set, scissor set. It's brilliant. Do you know why? Because sometimes when you get a multi-pack, you always think that, you know, one item in a multi-pack is useful and everything else gets shoved in the drawer, or you think, you know, they're a bit more novelty. Whereas everything in here is really gorgeous quality and really useful. So you've got amazing millwood shears, which at $14.99 for those on their own, that is brilliant. Bearing in mind, remember, you're getting a £5 saving today. This is always popular at £20. You've also got an essential pair of your little snips, always very handy to have, whether you're doing hand sewing, having them right by your machine, whether you're trimming into curves with toy making or bag making or dress making. Always very handy to have a nice sharp pair of beautiful snips. Plus you've then got your pins, obviously very useful, and a thimble. So anyone who's doing any EPP or hand sewing, again, all useful items, and they are beautiful quality. What a great gift for somebody, especially in the rose gold. I think it almost started off that it was a bit of a fad a few years ago. Well, I say a fad, it came in as like almost like the limited edition, the rose gold, and then it's sort of here to stay, isn't it? It's definitely my favourite. I love rose gold. I think it's such a beautiful, very luxury colour and very on trend. So you've got a really beautiful pair. They're weighty, not too heavy that they're uncomfortable, but they've got weight to them. They feel really lovely quality, and that very satisfying sound. They snip beautifully, very sharp to the point. They're not micro serrated, so you can sharpen these in your scissor sharpeners at home. You've then also got, as I say, this very beautiful pair of embroidery snips. I just love the detail. They almost look a bit sort of antique-y, don't they? They look very expensive indeed. They are your rose gold colour little snips. You've then also got obviously your pins, and you've got very useful rose gold thimble. Great gift idea for somebody if you are shopping with us for the first time. It's only one post in packaging all day long. So if you're opening your order nice and early, we always start the show with a saving. We want you to start shopping nice and early all day long. You'll only pay 1p&p. And what a great gift idea for somebody. Really nice gift. It was Kat's birthday over the weekend. She says, I would have loved to have received these for my birthday. They're so useful, aren't they? For somebody who's a sewer or a crafter, or somebody, you know, even if they're not in the sewing and craft row necessarily, they're all very useful things. $14.99. It is all about getting it at that saving. Now remember, the early bird is only whilst stocks last, and it's a big saving today. £5 off, just because. We always want to start the show with something special, so do make sure you make the most of it. Quarter of the price, 25% off today. Definitely worth setting your alarm bright and early, 8 o'clock, to see what we've got as an early bird each day. That one is a good one though, especially as I know how popular they are normally at £20. So it's definitely worth making the most of them at $14.99. Okay, now, trust me, those of you that have opened your order, you will only obviously pay that post in packaging once, and you are going to want to use that multi-bid option, because we've got so much coming up today. As I say, Cara's going to be joining me this hour, and I'm going to introduce the kits first. Before I do, can I just very quickly tell you, because Eagle Eyes I think have already spotted it on the website, and it means that we're down to 5 units. It's back! Now, we spoke to the team this morning, as it's already sold like hotcakes before we've come to air. We're down to 5 units left, so we're getting more on the 17th. What date is it today? Oh, it was meant to come in on the 17th. What is it today? Oh, it's the 21st. Is anybody on the same path as me that we have no idea what day it is, date it is? I still think we're in April. Okay, yeah, it's all kind of blended into one, hasn't it? But the reason that everybody's wanted this is because it's cut by the half metre. So go for it. If you want one of the last 5 units, 2.5 units left, 2.5 metres left at £6.99. I know that when Liam and, was it Debbie? John was on, I think 1,000 units sold. So, I mean, there's no point us even sitting talking about this. I just wanted to let you know it was on the website. I have no idea how that a few units sort of snuck in, but we will be getting more. As soon as we do, you will see it straight on air because we love that. It's super duper soft, 80/20 wadding. If you want another bargain, we've got our natural seeded Osnaburg coming up in a bit as well, back in stock. Again, we've got better stock of that as well, and that's a brilliant, brilliant price. I've also got extra wide backings, H640. We've got these, which are brilliant value for money, absolutely fantastic value for money. Your Gutermann threads, and they're beautiful. Where do you want it, Joe? It always comes and moves the camera, and I would just move it for you. He likes to get his steps in the morning, I think. Paul doesn't do this, you know. Paul just says, just get it in the right place, Vic. We're still obviously social distancing, so we haven't got a camera operative at the moment. But I just want to show you how beautiful this is. Ah, those of you that are staying with us today, later on we've got a Draught Excluder with Cara, and I'm thinking doing some of the free motion with some of these colours would look amazing. Another gorgeous gift idea, great colours, beautiful, beautiful quality Gutermann threads, and what a gorgeous gift set. That's such a lovely tin, isn't it? Okay. So, have a look on the website. You can get eagle-eyed already. There's lots of people who are checking out on all sorts on there, so it's definitely worth going to our website. Also, people checking out on the new Gingham. Very excited. That's coming up later on, I believe in the 11 o'clock hour. Is it 11? 9 o'clock. A couple of hours behind. So, 9 o'clock we'll be launching those. And brand new Moda. Gorgeous Moda. So please do have a look on the web shop. So those of you that want a bit of inspiration with bag making, we've got a beautiful, beautiful book. This is the boutique bag with 20 different bag projects. This is the one that we're making from today with Cara. It is individual to the bundles, as I know so many of you already have this book, so we've done it separately. But there's some really, really great ideas in here and lots of different ideas to add and to embellish your bags. 20 different designs, from tote bags to rucksacks to sort of big overnight bags. Loving the free motion owl. That's cute, isn't it? The Margaret bag, the Annalena bag. They're lovely, aren't they? Today we're making this one, which is the Claudia bag. You've got great instructions, which we'll be going through really clearly with Cara. So if you've got any questions for her, of course, get them in. It's a live interactive show. So if you've got any, it's my first actual show with Cara. I'm so excited. So if you do have any questions for her, please get them in live to the studio. It's studio@sewingstreet.com if you've got any questions. So that's the book that we're working from today. But do remember, your price per project, pence, or templates are in the back as well. Then we've got 2 different colourways. So we should have a look really at the bag. There you go. The bag is absolutely beautiful. I really like it in the pink colourway. I'm not normally one to have a pink bag, but it's more like a corally pink actually, isn't it? So this is the first bundle. It comes with, it's all right, 1/2 metre of your corally pink. 1/2 metre of your gingham, which is gorgeous, and 1/2 metre of this beautiful floral. That's, by the way, that's an actual gingham. It's not a printed gingham, is it? That's an actual gingham. That's really nice. And we've not had this fabric before either. Really, really nice. So your gingham's for your lining. This one, the floral is a poplin weight, slightly lighter weight. It's really gorgeous. You've then also got pack of buttons. You've got your retractable ring. You've also got your strap adjuster and your snap fasteners. All of that for £22.99. pence. So that's your coral Claudia bag. But I suppose with that bundle, there's a lot of bags actually that you're going to be able to have a bit of a play with. So it's definitely worth getting the book, getting some inspiration. And then, right, is this called navy? It's not navy, it's grey. Right, anyway, it isn't navy. That's 1/2 metre of grey, I believe, that you get, and it's cotton canvas. And then this time, that is a printed, that's a pewter cotton canvas. You then also got a printed gingham this time for the lining, which is in your poplin weight, Rose and Hubble. And then you've got the poplin floral, which again, I believe is new. That's so gorgeous. 1/2 metre. Do you get 1/2 metre of each then, Kat? Is that right? 1/2 metre of each, plus then all of your haberdashery. You've got your retractable ring, you've got your strap adjuster, you've then got your snap fastening, and you've also got your buttons. They're nice colour buttons. But that one, don't, which one are you working with, Cara? This one. So just, it is a pewter colour that you're getting. Ignore the graphics. When it says navy in there, that is the bundle that you're getting. £22.99. Right, for those of you, we're going to go through all of the other little haberdashery bits and bobs as we go through with Cara. So should we get her on? If you've never shot with us before, this is how you do it. On air on today's live show. You can also shop our catalogue by clicking a category, clicking a product to view closer, and adding it to your basket. Once you're ready to check out, you will need to create an account, which is absolutely free to do so, but it will mean that you can check out on as many orders as you want throughout the day with still only paying one postage and packaging. If you'd prefer to speak to somebody in our UK-based customer service team, then you can do so via the free telephone line number 0800 001 4433. They will not only help you create an account, but will also help you with any of your online shopping.
Hello everyone, my name's Cara Ackerman and I'm absolutely delighted to be here at Sewing Street. I actually originated from Hertfordshire, then went down to Hampshire and then it ended up in the East Midlands. I've been in the East Midlands for about 40 years now, which seems crazy, but 36 of those I actually worked with DMC Creative World, which was wonderful. I really, really enjoyed that. And then I decided to go freelance and that's how I got introduced to Sewing Street. I love doing anything to do with textiles, so embroidery, cross stitch, patchwork, done a bit of quilting, bag making, toy making, oh goodness, there's loads and loads of things. What I love doing is just trying something new, and I think one of the tips is don't be frightened of trying something new. You always learn from it, and you know, don't be scared of making mistakes either. We all learn from the mistakes that we make. Little bit about me that you might not know and that's a bit of a surprise. I once went to the garden party down at Buckingham Palace, the Queen's garden party, for some work that I did with Marie Curie. I was so lucky to go there and just a wonderful time. So I hope to see more of you on Sewing Street and I hope to try lots of new crafts with you. So see you again soon. Bye bye.
This is a bit of a blast from the past, isn't it?
I know.
It's so good to see you.
It's so good to be here.
Oh, thank you so much.
Good to be here.
I know that we sort of crossed paths when you were coming in to do pre-recorded demos, but it's lovely to have you actually here in the studio.
It's so nice and it's so good to work with you
How
again.
have you been the last few months?
Good, really good. Really, really good, actually.
Good.
Yeah, which is lovely. Done lots and lots of walks and bike rides and things like that, but now just starting to, you know, see a couple of friends and family, distance.
Yeah, but a bit more normal.
It's a bit strange.
It is, it is.
Strange.
Have you been sewing lots?
Loads and loads and loads. Yes, yes. My sewing room is an absolute hip at the moment, but I know where everything is.
Oh yeah, that's my thing. I started off being really organised at the start of lockdown, getting everything all out the cupboards and organising it all properly, and now it's just gone to pot again.
And I think what's lovely is I've been getting projects through, and obviously some of the sewing that I've been doing has been put to one side, and then, you know, I get on with this, and then I go back to different projects. But it's lovely. I bought some dress patterns the other day because I really like dressmaking, but I haven't done a lot of it recently.
You do a bit of everything there, Cara, don't you?
I know anything to do with needle and thread, and I'm definitely in my happy place.
As long as I've known Cara, we've always sort of throwing different random things at you. I've never done this before, and I've never done this before, but I'm just going to have a go anyway. From like sash go, I know you love now. Embroidery, obviously, you've done for years and years and years.
But free motion.
Free motion, it's the first time that you had a go.
I've done it a couple of times, but it was something that you get a bit nervous about, you know, a bit apprehensive. And I thought, no. You know, you have a firm talking to and you say, you can do this, you can do this.
Amazing. So that's going to be coming up with the Draught Excluder in the next show with Cara. But this time we're working on the bag.
Yes.
So it's a really nice structured bag, actually, isn't it?
It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And I love the cotton canvas.
Yeah.
That is so nice to work with. I think I did a project in the last show with the cotton canvas, and it's just got a lovely feel to it, and it's very accommodating, you know, for pressing and, you know, making sure
behaves
that
itself.
Yeah, it really does. But it's quite a structured fabric, you know, in comparison to the poplin weight cotton. It's a little bit heavier, but it complements, and the colours are just beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Really, really nice.
So we're working from the Bag Boutique book.
Yes.
How is that to work from?
It's lovely. I've actually done one of the other books from here, but when I was looking through it, there's just so many lovely projects. And what's beautiful is that they all use similar techniques. So some of the techniques that we're going to look at today, you know, like the inserting a zip with a pocket, is used in a lot of the other patterns.
So I suppose it's one of those sort of skill builder books that once you know those skills and transferable technique.
Yes, it is. And it's lovely, all the different, what do they call, hardware. Is it the bag hardware?
Yeah.
All the different bits and pieces there, you know, so
I think that gives it a real
nice.
Professional finish as well, doesn't it?
Definitely does. But it's a lovely, lovely book, and there's just so many different projects in there. I'm just trying 20 books in there, so bags in there, projects in there. Just really, really nice.
All something different, but like as you say, there's going to be lots of skills that as you learn along, you'll be going, right, okay, actually I know how to do that part, and I learned that in the last
well, it was like the first time I did some triangles like that with the last project, when I did Betty Bird, which is just down there. And, you know, that's the same technique. So, you know, again, it's just really, really nice to sort of see different techniques. So I think there'll be a few more, and I love it, you know, a little bit of felt, embellishment.
Yeah, it would be good if we could do some more from this book as well. So those of you that get it, do keep your eyes peeled for more, because it seems to be that you quite like taking a fancy to this book.
Yes, really good. I think the last one I did from here was this one, the Hannah one.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that was lovely. I think
nice.
that was one of my first bags. So, yes,
That's
very
really
nice.
nice.
And I like working with felt and gingham. Love gingham.
Say 20 projects, $14.99. It's fantastic value. So what techniques are we going to learn today then in the Claudia bag?
So in the Claudia bag, the first thing we're going to do, if I can just take this off. Oh, thank you. So we're going to go through the actual zip here and the pocket. So if we just open the zip, you see inside there's just wonderful.
Oh, I love that gingham.
I know. But that, again, is just so professional.
Oh, it's such attention to detail, because you don't need to necessarily have it on the inside of a pocket, but it just looks
it's got
gorgeous.
quite a deep pocket as
that
well,
is.
which is really good. So I thought we'd do that, hopefully.
Brilliant.
And then have a look at the structure and the composition of the actual tab and the little pocket on the front. And then there are pockets on the inside as well, but we'll see how far we go.
Fantastic.
So we'll start with the zip.
We've got two different colour zips. We've seen the green that was in the made-up one, and then the pink one, which is the one Cara's working with. It is separate, just in case you've got lots of zips in your in your haberdashery already. Are these the right size?
Yes. Yeah,
Oh, that's
they're
ideal. So you
perfect.
don't need to trim them down.
No, no.
We've got the graphics with the pink one, which is $1.99. Definitely worth just adding to your order. Or the green one that's available again, same price. You'll see it in a second. Thank you, Cara.
So what you've got is you've got a panel of the floral and the panel of the pewter, and you machine the two of those together and press the seam open.
All of the sort of measurements are in the book, aren't they?
All the measurements after you've cut out all the pieces.
Okay.
I actually did a list of all. Sometimes when they do books, bags, they have a list of each fabric and what you cut out. And I wanted to make sure I was cutting out the right fabric, you know, the right size for the right fabric. So I made my own list.
Oh yeah, good
and went
idea.
through that. So that's your first thing. You'll have already ironed on some iron-on interfacing. I see you've got some there.
Is that just a medium weight?
Yes, this one.
Oh, that was my bundle web I'm holding. Your iron-on interfacing is just a medium weight. You'll have plenty.
Plenty. And if you've got some in your stash at home, then obviously you can use that. You know, I tried to use what I had at home rather than opening a new pack.
It's always good to just have in your stash, isn't it, anyway?
You don't have to actually, they don't tell you to put the iron-on interfacing onto this, but because this is a poplin weight fabric, I felt it just gave it a little bit more structure. So it was worth sort of just having an extra strip there just to give it a little bit more structure. Then you'll find the centre of your actual fabric. So I marked that just with a friction pen. And then you'll measure down 1 3/8. I'm just going to check the measurement. Yeah, 1 3/8 of an inch down. And then I've made another mark there. And I'm not sure if you can actually pick up, but I have used, you can either use your friction pen or you can use your sew line pen just to mark this. And you want the actual opening for the zip to be from the end, the tab at the end and the tab at the top. You can see mine slightly smaller just from the point of view that I actually like to cover the tab at the end. So the tab there, and then you'll draw a line across, make sure that that's centrally placed and parallel. So that's 1 3/8 and that's 1 3/8. You draw your line across, then 3/8 of an inch down, another line across, and then you'll do a line in the centre, and that's going to be your cutting line when you've actually machined. And you'll just do a little triangle because you'll be cutting this, and that will make that lovely neat finish on the zip. So that's what you do there. Then you'll take your gingham, and there is a right and a wrong side to the gingham, so just be careful on this particular one. Also, I noticed that it wasn't exactly straight along the grain, but don't worry because this is on the inside of the bag, it's not going to make much difference. So you'll mark a halfway mark there, find which is the right and the wrong side. There's slight difference between the two, it's just paler on the back, and you put your right sides together and pop a clip there and pop a clip there.
Window clips, I think, are handy, aren't they?
Oh
Instead
my gosh,
of pinning.
what did we do before them?
Do you find that you use those more than pinning now?
It depends what I'm doing. Yeah, it depends what I'm doing. I'm just holding the fabric in place there. So we've actually got the large part of the pocket all hanging down loose.
Right.
So you've actually only got the top that's matched. So what we'll do now is we'll machine all the way around like that. No gaps or anything like that. And I actually found leaving my normal presser foot on, because we haven't got the zip on there yet, you don't need to actually put a zipper foot on. So I'll just pop this under, make sure that your fabric's nice and flat underneath. Normal stitch length.
Oh, you don't make it smaller to make it stronger, no?
You can.
You don't need to.
Yeah, I don't think you need to because we've actually put the interfacing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessary, so just whiz down there. And the next thing you want is a nice sharp pair of scissors. So those scissors that you had earlier would be perfect.
Oh yeah, the early bird's selling really well, by the way. It's $14.99 for that whole millwood scissor and thimbles. You get pins in there, all sorts. Handy to have your needle down actually on that point, isn't it?
Yes, when you're pivoting round, leave your needle down into the corner. Once you've done a bit of stitching, then you can actually start removing some of your clips. I'm just going to get rid, I'm going to be machining over the end. So you can do backwards and forwards stitch, you can do a little back stitch if you need to. So carry on. I love the fact of these machines that they will keep the needle down. So just take your time when you're coming to the end. Don't worry too much if you're a little bit over. And then we'll turn it round. Turn it round again. Whoops. Managed to get everything everywhere. You should see how I manage. I've got a desk that's smaller than this and everything goes everywhere.
Yeah.
Just going to come over. I just made an extra stitch there. And then just overlap your stitching and then you can go back just to secure it. Needle up and okay. So what we've done is we've machined all the way around that square and you're going to take your scissors and you're going to actually cut. The way to get that is to actually fold that in half just to get you started. Make sure that the edges are parallel and then get started. These are nice sharp scissors as well.
Are you literally just snipping down that line that you've drawn?
Yes, just make sure that your fabric on the back is flat.
Okay.
Okay, there'll be nothing worse than cutting through that. And then you cut into the corners. Don't go right to the corner, just cut into the corner there.
Yeah, just be careful you don't cut your stitches.
Yep. As I say, make sure that you haven't got the pocket fabric underneath. So that was right sides together. We're just snipping down there and then we're going to pull the lining through. Again, I'd never done sort of a zip like this before and it was just so nice.
This is called like a letterbox something,
yes,
isn't it? I
pull
think
it
I've
through.
seen Debbie doing this
So what I'm
before.
doing is I'm taking the hole there and I'm pulling the lining through.
So that's your pocket lining, isn't it?
That's
Or
your
is-
pocket
yeah.
lining. And then you'll pull it through from the top as well. And then just flatten that. And I'll get the iron, pop the iron on. Should have done that
Sorry,
earlier.
yeah.
No, that's fine.
I'll let it take a second to heat up.
You try to remember all these things, but right. So what I like as well is if you wanted to, you could actually see some of the gingham around the edge of the pocket.
Yeah.
And I think that looks really nice. So I'm actually going to just pop a couple of clips in there just to hold it in place. And when I iron, I obviously will make sure I miss the clips.
Yeah, especially if you've got a fabric, like you say, the gingham or something with a stripe, it does just look really lovely. Just having it
Yes, just
peeking
looks
out.
again very professional. Just another added feature. So what we'll do now is actually just press that and make sure that on the back the fabric's nice and flat. So you might want to just pull it slightly there. Just pull it slightly there. I didn't want to do too much snipping because I don't want to actually go through the stitching. Pull that up.
The navy bag is in the lead at the moment, which is the one that you can see here, this pewter one.
I think this one's just a lovely summer
Oh,
bag,
it is, isn't it? Really
Yes.
nice.
So we'll just pop that there.
It's quite a nice size, actually, especially with that big pocket. It's
And
really quite
I've
handy.
added, doesn't feel very hot. Hopefully. So we'll just press that. I'm just going to press it roughly at the moment on this side. And then make sure that when I press the other side, the gingham's in the right place. So you can see how easily that comes together. I'm going to take those clips out and I'm just going to, where I've got my centre mark. I'm going to leave that for the moment and I'll show you why later. Okay. So we take our zip, and depending on whether you want it one way or the other, you'll actually place the hole over your zip. Now this is where it's going to be impossible to actually use clips, and what you can do is if you've got some quilting tape, you can put some quilting tape there.
Good idea.
Or you can use a glue pen. I actually found it much easier just to pop a couple of pins in.
Right.
Because when you're machining it, if it starts moving, it's easier to move it when you've got the pins in. So I'm just going to pop a couple of pins in to hold it in position, and then we'll change the foot on the machine. Get rid of the ironing board actually.
Pinning into it.
I know, I'm pulling in, I'll be machining that as well. So I want to just show you what it looks like. And this is just to hold the zip in place. And as I say, you can use a glue pen or you can use the quilting tape if you find it easier. But if you haven't got that at home, that's why I wanted to show you this way. So you can see how lovely that is.
Yeah, I like this technique of putting zips in because it seems more sort of methodical. You can see what it's going to be, if you know what I mean. It's an easy way of
and you're
making sure
machining
you got it
from
right.
the top. So you'll be machining along there. You want to move your tab out of the way when you're machining. So I'll just change the foot.
We'll need your zipper foot on, won't you?
Yes. Although you're not going to be going that close to the actual zip, it is nice to actually have the zipper foot on. So if you do get quite close, you aren't moving the zip as you're machining.
When you're doing sewing on the inside, you won't see the stitches much, but this time it is worth thinking about what thread you're using.
Yes, I've done a contrast thread because I ran out of grey at home, and I thought, oh, what threads have I got at home? I'm sorry if that goes disappearing.
Isn't it lovely?
Wasn't me. Wasn't me. I love Gingham threads, and when that came on, I thought, oh, there's so many colours there. I am using so much thread at the moment that I'm having to order it by mail order, and yes. Anyway, so we'll pop. Got the zipper foot on there, and we'll now machine down the side. Again, make sure that your pocket's out of the way. I'm actually going to start just down one of the sides, and I'm using the edge of the zipper foot against the teeth.
Okay.
I'm just going to come in slightly because I want the top. I'm going to top stitch this rather than actually do it as a normal length. So I'm going to put that up to a number 3 because you're going to make a feature of it really. And if I can find the pedal. So I'm just machining along there. Just take the pin out. As you're going.
Oh, definitely get those Gingham. So many of them are going on the website. There's so many colours you could pick out in both of the fabrics, aren't there?
I mean, there's so many gorgeous colours. So when I get near to the end, I'm just going to leave the needle down, lift the footer up, and move the zip out of the way. I've got a pin there, so it might be helpful if I move the pin. And we'll just carry on. You can actually machine it over the ends, the tabs at the ends, to keep the zip in position.
Yeah, it's not a metal teeth, so you're all right to sew over the end. Be careful, obviously, if you're using a metal zip. What was your problem, Kat, that you came into? She says, oh, I found it ever so hard to move my tab out of the way when she was making her bag the other day. She says, you make it look really easy on the telly, just moving your actual zip tab out the way. Is that sometimes get in the way of the foot?
Yeah, the other thing that you can do, and most machines, and I didn't realise my machine did it, but you lift the foot up and you do have the possibility of lifting it up again, and it lifts it up again out of the way.
Right, so then you can
try
move
that
your
on
zipper out the
your
way.
machine at home, Kat, and you might find that you've got that facility there. Just going to move the zip back so the teeth meet in the centre. And then I'm just going to come down the other side, take the pins out.
Cara, how often do you change your sewing needle?
Not often enough.
Right, okay.
I actually have run out, so I need to order some more. I realised the other day, I thought something doesn't feel quite right. I think it was when I was doing the free motion, and I thought, do you know what? I think it's my needle. So I actually changed it, and it was so much better.
Right.
So much better.
So you
and
start to feel it.
Yeah. The other thing that I don't do often enough is clean. Under
just in
the
general,
bobbin.
or your machine?
Yeah. No, at home. Under the bobbin, I don't clean enough, and you know, that makes a difference as well. And again, when I was doing the free motion, I thought it's bouncing a bit too much, so I just sort of cleaned and changed the needle, and it was wonderful. Whoops, I've come offline a bit there. Sorry about that, because I was chatting.
Sorry.
No, it's all right.
It's nice seeing that little hint of gingham, isn't it? You can just see it on the camera there, peeping out.
The only thing that I'm going to be checking is that the stitch is quite away, and I just want to be sure that I've actually caught the tape of the zip. And if I haven't, what I'll do is I'll do another line of stitching and closer to the edge. But we'll have a look. It's all good fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's always a way of getting round something if it doesn't go right. And I still am learning. I'm still learning so much.
Oh, I don't think you ever stop, really.
No, you don't. Definitely not. Again, I think I've come a bit... Ooh. Okay. So as I say, the only thing I'm going... Oh, that end wasn't very good, sorry. So, woo!
As it...
It's
Yay!
ported.
Perfect.
So that's the back of the pocket, and that's your front. And standing up, live on air, I don't think that's bad at all.
No, that's brilliant.
So there you've got your... And that interfacing just gives it a little bit more body.
Especially, like you say, using the two different, when you've got the cotton canvas and then the poplin weight.
Yes.
I think you do need that little bit of interfacing to give it more structure, especially when it's on the bag, the zip, which is going to be open and closed.
That's
a lot.
right, that's
Just
right.
want to reinforce it more.
So the next stage is pulling your pocket up, and you're going to be machining that round. Now, just take care. Don't worry if your fabrics don't match exactly. As I say, this is going to be on the inside of the bag anyway. And what we're going to do is just whiz round. I need to change the foot on the machine. We can trim if it doesn't match because of the where we've been stitching and everything. If it doesn't match, don't worry about it, as long as it's nice and smooth and straight.
I do like a nice big pocket.
Yes, you can put so much in it.
I can never find my car keys, or can never find my phone and it's ringing, and so it's nice to have a good sized pocket to keep all your important things
This is lovely because this is on the outside of the bag, and then I've done two pockets on the inside, and then there's a pocket on the front. So I do like a good pocket. So what we want to do now is make sure that we don't, well, you can machine it across the top, but you don't want to machine this flat to the outside because you'll see your stitching.
Okay.
Okay. So I actually find it easier to make sure I get rid of all the outside fabric. So all I'm going to do, it's a bit messy, is come up here, across here and down here, but make sure that that's out of the way. Yeah. Okay. So I'll just whiz along there. I'm going to do quite a wide seam because I know that some of the fabric didn't match, and I will be trimming it back. So we'll just do a few.
What is the seam allowance on this bag?
I think it's 1 centimetre.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So we'll come down. So this will be the front part of your pocket, bag, or the back of your bag, actually the back of the bag. And You can either use foam or you can use H640. But the reason why I didn't use H640 for the pocket was that H640 will adhere to this part of the pocket.
Right.
And I felt that actually wasn't going to be very good. So I actually enjoyed using the foam. I felt the foam was better and it gives really nice structure to the bag.
So, the foam, I don't think we've actually even had on the show before, and it's brilliant. This is your Starville Fix. Now, you get it by the half metre. Is it going to be already pre-cut into half metres, do you know, Kat? Already pre-cut, sorry, not by the half metre. It is half metre pre-cuts. £6.99, and it will give you that amazing structure that you can see in the bag. So I know that lots of people use it for things like, you know, if you want to make a cat bed that stands up, or if you want to make things like even smaller projects, but something that's going to give you like tablet cases or phone cases, or if you're making a sewing machine cover or something to keep all of your rotary cutters, it gives it lovely protection, doesn't it? It gives it really nice protection. And Cara hasn't used it as you've used it as a sewing foam, but actually with the Starville Fix, it does actually iron and fix itself to it if you so wish to fix it. It's got a glue adhesive on the back as well. So it is brilliant. It's under the desk by you. I don't know if you want to show it just so you can see the texture of it. Because it's really lovely. But you can sew through it with no problem, but it it collapses down but then bounces back, doesn't it?
It's wonderful. I mean, that was creased in my bag coming over this morning, and you know, we haven't ironed it or anything. No. We've just let it bounce back, and that's what I like about this. So that's your half metre. And as you say, you've got a slightly adhesive, so you could iron onto that. But brilliant. I felt with the pocket and the thickness of the pocket, even if you iron it, the glue's not necessarily going to melt. Right. If it was just fabric against the glue, then it would, and it would adhere. But I didn't on this one. Gosh, I didn't realise it.
Isn't it? There's so much. I'm thinking, because my mum, at the moment, I'm making my mum like a little pelmet for above her blind. And I think that would probably be perfect. We've got something that's structured, but then you want like your wadding on top of it. But then your fabric to look lovely and flush to it. That would probably be perfect. There's so much that you can use the Starville Fix for. This is Visaline product, isn't it? Yes. It is a Visaline product. It's gorgeous quality, and it's just £6.99. Lots of people are already checking out on that. I always find that if you've got a bag that collapses down on the floor, that's another moment you can't find anything. It collapses right down on the floor. It's really annoying. I like bags that sort of you pop down to the side of you and it stays upright. Bit of structure.
So all I'm doing here is just where I've machined, I'm just trimming the fabric round. And there you go. So you've got your lovely deep pockets in there.
Fantastic. So that's then ready to go on as your back panel.
Yes. So what I would normally do, I don't know whether we'll have time, but your next stage with the back of the bag is actually take a piece of the foam, and this again is where it's wonderful, where you can clip. So I clipped to a couple of the sides to get started, and then with a nice long stitch on your machine, you would whiz round there.
We've got 15 minutes with you, Cara, so if you want to show the
I was going to try and show the other part of the bag. The front. Yeah. So the front of the bag has similar pieces. So you've got your cotton patterned fabric, and then you've got the pewter, the cotton canvas. This one I didn't interface. You can if you want to, but actually it's not necessary because we're not going to be cutting into this fabric. Okay. So it was fine as it is. Then you have a pocket, and the pockets are very, very similar. Within the book, they have, so the zip that I did just now, if you go to the front of the book, there are very detailed instructions and photographs. Oh, great. Absolutely taking you through. And throughout the instructions here, it tells you what page to refer back to. So,
like you said, there's lots of sort of techniques to it.
Box bottoms, bias binding, piping even.
Fantastic.
And the patch pockets. So all the pockets use this similar method. But on this particular pocket on the front, you'll see that there is a lovely decorative edge. It's not anything practical, it's just decorative.
Okay.
So you'll take a piece of your pewter and you'll do it as you would do with normal bias binding. You can either fold it in half and then fold the corners into the edges into the centre, and then turn it through. That gives a nice narrow one. Or on this particular one, I actually decided to do it like a flat one, so it was a bit wider. So I was going to change the colour of the thread, but I'm actually going to keep the this nice bright pink. I think it's quite...
Yeah, nice contrast.
Yeah, makes a bit of a pop, doesn't it? As long as I do straight stitching. 3 for your top stitching, and you're just going to sew down either edge. So this is cut straight on the grain, not on a bias, because you're actually not going to be going around any curves or anything like that. It's just going to be decorative for the actual pocket. So we'll come down. And it's nice actually, that pink is just a lovely contrast with the pewter. I've just found the automatic cutting. As you do. So
you did ask for a thread cutter, didn't you? Did you say? Oh no, you didn't. You said, "Is this the one with the needle?" I thought you said, "Oh, is this the one with the thread
no,
cutter?"
it's the automatic threader. If I was going to have to
nice
change, we would run out of time if I had to try and change and get. I need to go to the optician. That is the thing. I really do need to go to the optician, and at the moment you can't. So I will see when I can. You'll measure up. They'll tell you in the instructions how far to measure up, and you'll actually place this strip across there, and then what you can do is either machine it on, so it's machined onto the actual pocket. This has got some H640 to just give it a little bit of a bounce, or you can leave this loose. It's entirely up to you. So your top stitching can either go through the pocket or actually just straight onto the band. And then we're going to put right sides together, the other piece of the pocket, and you're going to machine all the way around, leaving a turning space at the bottom. So you'll machine up there, across there, down there, and back, and leave a turning space. So we'll do that.
With H640, do you need your walking foot, or is it all right?
No, it's fine. The walking foot's really good when you're actually using the foam. So having a walking foot does help. I don't have a walking foot on my machine at home.
And it was fine?
And it was fine. It was absolutely fine.
Good.
You just take your time. So
the H640, by the way, the graphics are in. It's a metre piece, £9.99. You know H640. I think so many of us have got it at home in abundance in the stash. If you're running low, definitely stock up, because it comes in useful for so many different projects. Whether you're doing quilting, if you're doing cushions or wall hangings, if you're doing bags, there's so many different projects you will see H640 used. I know in a lot of Debbie's project books, you'll see H640 used. It's got like a fusible backing, hasn't it? And then like a fleecy front.
I had never heard of it before I started doing work on shopping channels, and I thought, everybody talks about this H640, and I thought, oh yeah, okay, maybe that would be quite useful. Oh my goodness. And I keep all my little bits and pieces, because it's like with this particular bag, you've got a tab that they suggest putting the H640, and it just gives a bit of a bounce, you know. So the pocket here has got the H640 and the tab. So
it does make a difference.
Yeah.
It's got like a nice loft to it.
Yes.
Won't give you as much sort of structure as the foam, but still it will give you a nice body.
Definitely. I nearly forgot to leave a gap, because again I was chatting. When you're at home, I talk to myself.
Do you?
Yeah. Especially if something goes wrong, I'm like, oh, I'm glad nobody's looking.
I do that all the time when I'm driving, and I think if anybody looks in and just thinks, who's she talking to? She just literally
have a good talking to. I think it was, as I say, doing the free motion. I was just, you know, putting it off and thinking, why am I putting it off? Just go for it. So.
Why are you trimming down?
So just as not so much bulk.
Okay.
And where we've got a gap, I'm hoping that gap's going to be big enough.
for telly turning through. It's quite small, isn't it? At home, it feels like, on telly it feels like an hour that you're turning through, but actually, oh no, you do.
No, it's coming through.
If you need a dobber.
Yeah, I've got one.
Oh, brilliant, there you go.
I brought my trusty dobber.
Hello, John Cole Morgan. Are you watching from bed? He's having a lie-in today. His alarm wasn't set for 3:30 this morning to get
goodness,
up.
John, it must be wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful.
He really liked your zip insertion.
Oh, there you go.
Great. Actually, do you know what? It's worth jotting down today's date. And when you come to doing any bag, in fact, and you think, do you know what, actually, that bag I really like doesn't have a pocket, you can add one like that in, can't you?
Yeah.
That's ideal date.
If you've got a tote bag or something like that, and it's got, a plain sort of side to it, you can actually insert the zip, and it's really, really good.
Absolutely.
So what we've done is I've just turned that through. It looks a bit creased at the moment, so I'm maybe got time to do a bit of ironing.
How we do for time, Joe? 10 minutes.
Oh, that's fine. So I'm just going to press the raw edges in. I'm not going to stitch those yet because they will be stitched when you actually attach the pocket to the front of your bag. So I'm just making sure that the back's turned under. Try and get it as straight as possible. And like you say, that gives just a little bit of a bounce to it. So that's your pocket done.
Brilliant. Hopefully we might be able to do a pit stop at the strap as well.
Yes. Right, the next bit.
Because you've got some good tips actually of
yes.
Of using the strap. You do get all of your, what we call it, hardware, furniture, your bag, bits and bobs, your haberdashery. You do get the bits and bobs with it. So you get your adjuster straps. What else do we get there? The
slider
and your snap fasteners.
And
brilliant.
The snap fasteners. So we've done the pocket for the front. The next thing we want to do is the tab here. What did you say? 10 minutes. Okay. So what you'll do, H640, this is where you can use your little bits and pieces. My piece was a little bit too short, but it doesn't matter, really doesn't matter. So you'll have a piece of H640, then your two sides of your right sides together. Now, the option in the book, she actually recommends a clasp. I didn't have a clasp, so what I did was I actually did my tab, then I stitched the white popper.
Brilliant.
Okay, the only thing that I would say is when you're stitching the popper on there, you can either stitch the popper on before you sew it, but I found actually I could still do it, but don't bring your needle through to the right side. Can I bring that over?
Yeah,
is that going to be easier to
that's
show?
probably easy.
So I did the popper on the pocket. So again, you can do this.
If you just bring it towards me a bit.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
You can stitch that onto the pocket. You want to be able to still get your hand in, but if you stitch the popper, the white popper, onto the pocket in the centre, just a little bit down from the top, and stitch it through the fabric before you actually attach the pocket onto the bag.
I'm with you, yeah.
Okay. And then with the tab, we've got the H640 in there. I made the tab and then I stitched the other part of the popper. But just put your needle through.
Just
and
the one
because
there.
You've got the H640, your needle can sit within the sandwich, if you like, and it doesn't come through to the other side. And then just very carefully stitch a button on top.
Oh, I like that. That's lovely.
That's instead of the other clasp that they suggest as well. But I like this because I felt
you
it
get
was
these
nice
snap
and
fastenings.
yeah,
You get
nice
full
and firm.
sets.
So you can hear that's a nice firm click. Okay, so I'm going to just whiz round this. And then this will be sandwiched between the pattern fabric at the top and the pewter cotton canvas. So you'll just machine down the long sides, leaving the top open. And again, what you can do is when you've done this, leave your needle down to pivot at the corners. Turn again. First stitch at the top. Ooh. Okay, I'm just going to trim the corners. And again, because you've got the H640, it's quite chunky. So I'm just going to trim down the edge. Sorry. And then we'll turn that through. And then you want to find the centre of your pattern fabric panel and the centre of the canvas, cotton canvas. And once you've attached, use my dobber again, once you've attached the poppers and the button, you would then attach this in between the other fabrics. Sorry. Okay. So leave your raw edges. I'd take a little bit more time and actually get into the corners. Okay, so I've just pretend I've attached the popper and the button, and you're going to find the centre of your fabric, just fold it in half, and I've made a mark here using the white sew line pencil, and then you just find the centre there, and you're going to attach this. I left it so that the actual wadding part of the tab was on the outside, so you can imagine that's going to come down and attach onto the pocket, so that means that that part is the part with the wadding. So then you'll pop that over and machine across and machine the two together. Have I got time to do that, or shall I get on to the
3 minutes?
No, I'll get onto the strap. So very, very straightforward. You'll attach your pocket and make sure that you've got it centrally placed and square to the edges, and then your top stitch down and across the 3 sides. And as you machine that to the actual bag, you will be closing that opening. And again,
so you don't need to hand stitch that.
No,
just do it in the machine. Brilliant.
Okay. The only thing that I would ask you to is just make sure that you've done your popper, your button, popper and button. Make sure that those clip together. That will tell you where your pocket is. And then again, take your foam, and once you've done all of that, you'll be again attaching all of that together like that. Match all your edges and machine all the way round just to hold those two together. Okay, let's just speak about the strap, and then I can just touch on the lining as well. So with these particular items that you've got in the kit, you have actually got an inch wide slider, and although the bag suggests that you have 1.5 inches, because you've got an inch wide slider, I thought, oh gosh, what do I do? And with the, I love this for making straps.
Yeah, this is waist shaper, isn't it?
I know.
Normally for dressmakers, so this is
I
great
know.
for straps.
So
Those of you who haven't tried it, dressmakers definitely go for it.
So it's usually this width, okay? And that's the width if you wanted to make a nice wide one, but you can see it actually for here, it's too wide for the slider. So I actually wanted the slider to be a bit narrow, and I thought, oh, what do I do? What do I do? And all you do is you just trim the extra bit off.
Yeah. Do you know what? Sometimes you think, oh, how am I gonna conquer this? And then it's actually just quite simple. Trim it.
So you just trim it down either side, and then you're left with this. And if you fold this together, you know with the fabric round it, it's actually going to go through the slider. You'll for the actual bag, I think it was 4 inches wide. If you're making this narrow one, you only need 3 inches wide.
Okay.
And I've got a piece here that I've cut. There is one shiny side and one dull side. If you put the shiny side down and press that, that will adhere. It doesn't have to adhere massively. It just has to sort of hold it in position. Then you'll fold that in and then that in the other side. And this is the same for the longer strap. This is the actual tabs at the side of the bag. So I don't know if you can point that out there, just there. Then you'll fold that all in together like that. And then you'll do your parallel lines of stitching. I had enough grey thread at home. This is what I used all my grey thread for. That's why I need to replace it. So once you have actually pressed that and everything, then you'll do 4 lines of parallel top stitching.
Oh, I always put too much in my bag, so it's good to have a nice strong strap.
Yes, definitely. And that will be, if you've got grey on the other side, I had a lighter grey on the other side, then you've got the grey for both sides.
Nice.
And the same for the long strap. And this is lovely and long, so you can adjust the actual length of the strap for your bag.
It's nice to be able to have a matching strap as well, especially as you can make it, you know, really nice and easily and get a nice professional finish.
I love the fact that you can get such a professional finish with all these little bits and pieces.
Yeah.
It makes all the difference. And if we've got time, at the other bit, I just wanted to show.
I think we are over time. What was it? It's all in the
Just wanted
instructions
to show,
anyway, isn't
yeah.
it?
So
The lining.
I put patterned pockets on the lining.
Yeah.
And I did 2, and that's big enough for my mobile phone.
Oh, brilliant.
And then, you know, my glasses or anything like that. And then you'll machine all the way round, and then you'll make a 2-inch box bottom on this one, and you'll do the same with the front and the back of the actual bag, and make the box bottom and put them in.
Sorry to rush you at
That's
the end.
all right.
It's all in the book.
It
so
is.
those of you that get the book, it's really gorgeous, clear instructions. Thank you ever so much. We've
That's
had
okay.
a great intense demo. We've got the most gorgeous Draught Excluder coming up with Cara as well in the next hour. And those of you that haven't had a go at free motion quilting, definitely stay tuned for it, because it's going to be a bit of a crash course in free motion quilting as well. Thank you ever so much, Cara.
That's okay.
See you in an hour.
No, that's lovely. Thank you.
Do not
Thank you
go
very much.
anywhere. We are back with so much more brand new Moda fabric coming up right after this.
Hi there, my name's Alison Marion and I'm thrilled to be joining the Sewing Street family. I live in Staffordshire, where I run a couple of sewing groups, and I have a passion for vintage sewing machines and also applique. I've stitched in some form for as long as I can remember, but I absolutely love teaching and helping people stretch their skills and hopefully demystifying some of the techniques that can be quite daunting for beginners. So I'm looking forward to meeting the team and getting into the studio. See you soon.
If you'd like to get in touch with us during our live show and send in any messages or any questions, then you can do it on studio@sewingstreet.com. Alternatively, you can message us on our official Facebook page.
That's a seam ripper. My favourite piece of kit with the sewing is the seam ripper. Hello, I'm Janice from Birmingham. I specialise in dressmaking. I used to run a children's shop and I love making children's clothes. My mother encouraged me to sew from an early age. When we were young, we did dressmaking in school. My claim to fame was the sewing quarter, but I'm now making also jumpsuits for ladies and men of all shapes and sizes, and it seems to be going for the festivals around the country. See you on the show.
Shopping with us couldn't be easier. If you want to shop online, then you can head to our website, www.sewingstreet.com. It will redirect you to our sister channel Jewellery Makers landing page. Don't worry, you haven't gone to the wrong place. We're simply using their website temporarily while we're building our own web shop. Scroll down past the Watch Live part and you'll see all of the products that you will have seen on air on today's live show. You can also shop our catalogue by clicking a category, clicking a product to view closer and adding it to your basket. Once you're ready to check out, you will need to create an account, which is absolutely free to do so, but it will mean that you can check out on as many orders as you want throughout the day with still only paying one postage and packaging. If you'd prefer to speak to somebody in our UK-based customer service team, then you can do so via the free telephone line number 0800 001 4433. They will not only help you create an account, but will also help you with any of your online shopping.
Hi, I'm Rosie Wells.
My name's Poppy and I'm a nutritional therapist.
Hi, I'm Ruth Lynette and I can't wait to join you all on the brand new Gemporia Lifestyle channel.
If you're a fan of primal living, you're going to adore what's around the corner.
What is lifestyle? Lifestyle is healthy habits.
Feeling good, it's about looking great,
Making sure that we're taking good care of ourselves inside.
and it's about the life that you lead and the home that you live in.
All of this is why I'm so excited.
We've got the most wonderful team.
Homeware deals and primal deals under one roof on one channel.
I can't wait to share this brand new channel with you. So we'll see you soon on Gemporia Lifestyle.
Gemporia Lifestyle, coming soon to Freeview Channel 74 and gemporia.com.
Hello, I'm Kerry from Living in Loveliness and I'm delighted to be part of the Sewing Street team. I'm based in Wolverhampton and I absolutely love working with fabulous fabrics. In particular, I love working with fat quarters and showing you how to get the most from your scraps. I love bringing communities of sewists together and encouraging people to sew for greater causes. Most recently, we have been sewing for our NHS and key workers. I look forward to bringing you hints, tips and techniques. I'll see you soon.
Would you like to take part in our weekly competition? If you do, then all you have to do is head to the Sewing Street fan page group on Facebook. Post your picture of your make. Myself, Debbie Shaw and John Cole Morgan love looking at all of your makes every week. We pick our favourite and announce the winner every Friday live on the show. Happy sewing and good luck.
Hello, my name's Fiona Hesford and I'm founder of Sew Girl. I'm based down in Worthing on the south coast of England, and I've got a range of sewing patterns which I've developed over the last few years, which are projects for loose fitting clothing, everyday simple garments, things that I really love to wear myself. And I'm going to be bringing you them to Sewing Street over the next few months. So I look forward to seeing you then. Bye.
Hello there, I'm Debbie Shaw and I would love you to join me on the first Monday of every single month for Sewing Street Surgery. Now this is a dedicated hour where I answer your questions, and that could be questions about techniques, it could be questions about tools, it could be questions about new products, or maybe something that you've seen that you just don't understand. There's a lot of questions about tensions on sewing machines, and there's a lot of questions about working with different weights of fabrics. So if you have a question that you'd like to ask me, the easiest way to bring a question over to us is to go to our Facebook page and post your question on there. I will collate all of those questions throughout the week. If we need any new products for you, or if we need any new demonstrations, those will all be worked on leading up to that first Monday of the month. So do join me, Debbie Shaw, on Sewing Street Surgery on the first Monday.
Welcome back. Oh, it's so lovely to see Cara. We've got a great demo as well with the Draught Excluder. It's one of Debbie's Draught Excluder patterns from one of her books. And free motion, you're going to love it. Those of you who've never done free motion before, this is going to be a really good one to try out. Now, before we get into this brand new Moda, which lots of you have already checked out on, very exciting indeed, I love this pack. Now, this was going to be after the Moda, but so many people have already checked out on it that we thought we'd bring it forward. 30 beautiful Gutermann spools, and I love the box that it comes in because look at this gorgeous tin. It's a great gift idea for somebody. They're stunning quality polyester threads. Wait till you see the colours. Oh. It is just like that real satisfying, beautiful box of very posh chocolates. They're all so gorgeous. You've got your real lovely classic colours, you know, your sort of essentials. You've got your grey, whether it's for hand sewing, whether it be for machine sewing, whether it be for piecing, quilting, free motion, whether it be for applique, whether it be for English paper piecing, whether it be hand sewing. There is so much that you're going to be able to use this for. It is your sort of sew all thread. I think it's 50 weight, 100% polyester. You get 100 meters on each spool. So therefore, I mean, you've got 3,000 meters. 3,000 meters. I love the little box that it comes in. In fact, no, hang on. Yeah, it is. It's absolutely gorgeous quality. Whenever, as Cara said, it's one of her, she loves Gutermann threads. Whenever you see our guest designers sewing on air, they're probably using a spool like this. So, are we going to start with it? We're bringing in the graphics now. I don't know if we're ready. I think you're going to be shocked by the price. It comes, remember, in this really, really lovely tin. $39.99. How amazing is that? Your nostalgic 1930 thread box, assorted shades, 30 of them for less than £40. Fantastic value for money. Gorgeous colours in there. A great gift for somebody. Now, if I have a look, when I was looking online, you generally pay between £1.60 and £2 a spool. So to say that we're less than £1.50, what's the price per spool? £1.33. £1.33 a spool, and you're getting your tin as well. Fantastic value, especially as these are all the sort of great colours that I think you're going to use for all sorts of sewing. As I say, I was thinking, along with the Draught Excluder, if you want to do some of the free motion quilting like Cara's done here, it's going to look amazing in some of these lovely bright colours. If you're working with any of your designer fabrics and you want to pull out some of the different colours, I think there's something for everybody, as you've got different shades of green, you've got lots of different shades of lovely reds and pinks, purples, you've got the lovely sunset shades. Greys as well are always really useful for anybody who does EPP, as it does to blend in between all of your fabrics. You've obviously got your black and white as well, and ivories and creams. Lovely, really deep navy blue. £39.99. It's nice to be able to have the different shades of each colour. Brand new today, already selling extremely quickly. Gutermann thread, you know, you're looking at quality thread. When you're starting to think about the different, I talk about this Aurifil as well. I know a lot of people love their cotton thread. It's personal preference. But I must say, when you're starting to, sew with some of the most gorgeous fabrics, if you're cutting fabrics and doing patchwork, you're sewing them back together. Think about what threads you're using. Gutermann have got a great reputation. We're huge champions of Gutermann, and they are beautiful quality polyester. And obviously with your polyester threads, you've got such strength, you've got such beautiful colours, and you've got a great price, £39.99. And then once you've used them all up, don't get me wrong, you can fill them back up with more threads, or you've got a lovely little box then to keep all sorts of your tin, to keep loads in there. I think that would become quite nostalgic. You could keep it to keep all your little pins or buttons in there, or whatever you want to keep. Really nostalgic tin, and a lovely gift for somebody. If you are buying for somebody else, this is a really lovely gift. £39.99, especially, you know somebody like Cara. She's just saying, I'm having to get threads on mail order. The amount I've been sewing through lockdown, I'm running out of all my threads. I think this will take you some time to get through all of these threads, wouldn't it? 3,000 metres of thread. Wow. And all of your great staple colours. I mean, there's no sort of novelty colours in here. They're really lovely, classic colours, really useful colours for your stash. Just so you know, if there is a certain colour, say this one, you run out and you're doing a quilt with it and you want to make sure that you've got that again, they're all numbered, so that one's number 417. So you'd be able to order that from Gingham again and you'd be able to know that you get exactly the same colour. I think that's the great thing about buying from a reputable brand like Gingham, is that the way that they're producing these threads means that you're going to get exactly the same colour, which for us in the you know, quilting world, or in dressmaking even, you can use this for dressmaking, you can use it for bag making, you can use it for your toy making, for hand sewing, in your bobbin, in your free motion. You could use it for applique, whatever you're using it for. If you do want to then match that colour up again, you know that colour, you know that you can always get exactly the same colour again. £39.99, 100 metres on each. Okay, should we do this beautiful Moda fabric? Those of you that love classic, traditional, beautiful quilting, if you are a fan of looking at quilts in museums or reading about the history of quilting and looking at some of the most incredible antique quilts, if you've ever been to Festival of Quilts maybe and seen some of those spectacular antique quilts, I think you're really, really going to love this. The thing is, quilting obviously has been on a huge, huge journey. There's a great history when it comes to traditional quilting. But obviously with modern technology, we now get to produce fabrics that are going to be ideal for quilting. So when it comes to checking out Moda, you know that you've got this really prestigious, great quality quilting fabric that's brand new, but also has a really lovely classic feel to it. I love this collection. I know so many people have already been eagle-eyeing it on the website and checking out on the whole bundle. But are you ready for the first look at this beautiful brand new Moda bundle? It is stunning. Look at all of those colours. You're getting 1, 2, 3, 4 metres. 4 metres of gorgeous quality Moda fabrics. Now, if you do want that whole mega bundle where you get half a metre of each already pre-cut, half a metre, remember, I will go through these individually. We have got them by the half metre as well. But if you know already that you want the whole shebang, the colours, the prints, the scales of prints, all work so, so well together. There you go. The whole bundle is £58.99 and the colours are stunning. So, Christopher Wilson Tate, those of you that it may be ringing alarm bells thinking, who is that? I'd heard that name. I'd heard this name. But Kat has actually done a bit more of in-depth research into him, and he's such an interesting guy. Now, he's somebody who's just recently teamed up with Moda, actually. I don't know whether this is his first collection with Moda even. I think it's some of his family members. It runs in his blood. He's got an incredible family, all designing with, family members who have designed with Moda before. But I don't know if this is Christopher's first collection with Moda, and it's beautiful. I've got this slide which I want to read with you. So Christopher was originally from Newcastle, up north in England. He said he had a great passion for antique quilts and textiles and he purchased his first antique quilt when he was just 15 years old. You know, most 15-year-olds who maybe save up their pocket money and get themselves a PlayStation or something. This is amazing. He gets an antique quilt from a local flea market, vintage fair, in northeast England. And just over 2 years later, he started his trips to London. Bearing in mind he lives in Newcastle, it's a 600-mile round trip in a day to sell some of the antique quilts that he'd purchased to contacts he's made from home interior magazines. 2 years later, he purchased his first shop premises, and the long journey and passion of quilts, antique quilts, had begun. He loves to meet new people and share his enthusiasm for his antique quilts at his store in London, the Antique Textiles Company, with with its hundreds of antique quilts, is looking forward to a future with Moda with even more passion and what can be created from his archive with his new collection for quilters worldwide to inspire by and create fabulous new quilts and heirlooms of the future, which is so exciting, isn't it? This is what I love, is that our present, especially I think we're thinking about it more and more recently for obvious reasons, but we are creating that new sort of history, aren't we? 2020 isn't going to be a year that we forget. And I think a lot of people have got into quilting during lockdown. Lots of people have been sewing more, which is just brilliant. And so many people have been making lockdown quilts. Please label them, because I just know in years and years and years to come that they will become heirlooms and antiques, and somebody will have passed it down to family members and say, oh, this was sewn in the COVID days. You can imagine it, can't you? So if you do want to make yourself something that is completely timeless and classic, I love Christopher's collection with Moda. And the fact that you know it is that absolute quality, 100% cotton, gorgeous quality Moda fabric. You're getting 4 whole meters of beautiful fabric. So you've got different scales of print. The great thing about it is that Moda, of course, have thought about it, and they've thought about the different scales of print, the texture. It's beautiful, isn't it? The colours are absolutely stunning. In fact, go on, read that to me again, Kat. Christopher said it's reminiscent of the romantic era of Jane Austen in its colour and scale. The original quilt that inspired this collection is over 200 years old. It's a beautiful faded English floral chintz patchwork from the Regency period. I'd love to see a picture of that. I wonder whether if we could find one online. If you find one, please send it in, because I'd love to see it. Maybe you know of this quilt already. £58.99 for 4 meters of gorgeous, gorgeous fabric. Should we do by the half meter? Okay, I'm going to start with this one, which is Joe NSW 175. Oh, look at this. So now I'm thinking of opening this up. Obviously, yes, we're talking to quilters because, of course, Christopher, the reason that he designed this is because he wants to inspire lots of people to be making antique quilts for the future, and, you know, inspire making heirloom quilts for our future generations, which is so exciting. But also now, as you're getting a chance to buy it by the half meter, think about different projects. I'm thinking bag makers. What about dressmakers or soft furnishing? This would be beautiful for bedroom pillows, big cushions, or smaller scatter cushions as well, with a nice piped edge. Yeah, this would be ideal for that. £7.49.5 metre for the quality that you're getting with Moda as well. It's beautiful. I like that duck egg blue tone. It's quite subtle, but it's very regal, isn't it? Remember, there's this one, and then there's a stripe that's coming up. They're the only two that are in this duck eggy blue colour. £7.49.5 metre. Beautiful detail, gorgeous colours. The printing that you get from Moda, you can see it is absolutely top quality. 100% cotton, quilting weight cotton this is. Remember, this is your chance to buy by the half metre, so we'll cut it off the bolt to whatever size you want. If you want 2 metres, then it's 4 units, and so on and so forth. Okay, so we've also got what I can't call these blenders, but they are more of your, I'd say more of the mixy ones. That's lovely, isn't it? I am envisioning like a really gorgeous, stately home. If you love fabrics like Morris & Co, I think you'll really love this collection as well. It has got a beautiful feel to it. This colour's lovely. See this one, if you just use this as a background or as a big border, this is your chance now. If you're doing big quilts, oh, it would look amazing. This one is AW162. I'm trying to read on the selvage. There's some nice little quotes as well. This one only has half it. Christopher, on his quilt, travels around the British, and then it's cutting off. It's cut off. I wonder what it says. £7.49. This one again has got lovely detail. £7, 49.5 metre. This one is called cord. Don't worry, it isn't a corduroy. It's a cotton. It's 100% cotton. Quilting weight cotton. It's just the colour is called cord. Your Regency Romance. You went to where, sorry, Joe? Hanbury Hall. Oh, it just reminded him of Hanbury Hall. Where's Hanbury Hall? Worcester Way. He said it's lovely. Oh, I went for a picnic with his girlfriend. £7, 49.5 metre. Remember, can I show you what half a metre looks like? It's 112 wide. 112 wide. I knew this would be really, really popular. It's that real gorgeous neutral colour as well, isn't it? I think this is going to go with everything in your stash. So even if I hate to call it a mixer or a blender, because it's absolutely not, but if you were to use that along with other fabrics, I think it's going to work really, really well. Yeah, I think that would look really lovely. Or whether you've got creams or golds, it's very regal, very opulent, isn't it? Dressmakers as well. I think this would come in quite useful for lots of your dressmaking. We've got this. Let me show you in the 3 different colourways. So you've just seen it in that lovely tan. We've also got it in cream and in like a rose pink, which is beautiful. We've got the cream one coming up now. This one is KFW1815. Yeah, thank you, Kat. 178. Remember, I know that we're only showing you these very, very quickly, but even if Kat takes the graphics out, it doesn't mean that you've missed out. You can still come through. It is still available on the website or available with our customer service team. That's got really lovely colour. Thinking a lovely blouse with this or another dress. Remember, Christopher, I wonder how old is he now? Well, he started off very young, didn't he, collecting his antique quilts? I wonder whether anybody at home has collected any antique quilts. Message in, we'd love to hear from you. Pardon? £7, 49.5 metre. We have to try and get him on air. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? Talk to the designer. But he's taken inspiration from an antique, for this collection, an antique quilt that was, we think to have been stitched 200, well, they think to have been stitched 200 years ago. I mean, can you imagine the quality of the fabrics then? 200 years ago. So this is what I love, is that it's just giving it a new lease of life, sort of taking the inspiration and taking the patterns, or taking inspiration from the patterns, and freshen it up, putting it with modern fabrics that, yes, we can wash and they will still, hold their colour. Yes, we can cut up and stitch back together with our patchwork. This is one of my favourite colours, actually. I think this is perfect to go with all of them. It's this really lovely rose colour. So it's DJ W179. 97, sorry. Oh, you got it. Kat's trying to find him now on Facebook. Have you tried to add him as a friend, Kat? Try and get him on the show. It's in rose. It's a lovely deep, almost like a burgundy rose. £7, 49.5 metre. It's a lovely deep rose, isn't it? Really nice colour. And again, with any of your Gutermann threads, I think it's going to work really, really well. There's so many projects I think this is going to come in handy for. It's really beautiful. 749.5 metre for Moda as well, remember. You are looking at beautiful quality designer fabric. It's just homage, isn't it, to that quilt from 200 years ago, where they've sort of bought it a new lease of life, reinvented it. I'm going to try and find and see if I can find a picture. Oh, right. Kat says, I think I've found the picture of the quilt that he's taken inspiration from. We'll try and get it on before the end of the hour. £7.49.5 metre. It's lovely. Oh, I want to know whether you collect any antique quilts at home. I know a lot of people who have collected quilts in the past. I've messaged in before. Jane Grillnoff collects really old, beautiful cross-stitch pieces. It's amazing. I find it so... I love thinking about, where they stitched it, who they stitched it for, who taught them to stitch, and I find it just really fascinating. So much history in knowing that each individual person, or whether it was a community that stitched it together. But this was called Beatrice. It's SRW 105, Joe. So when you were saying that it takes inspiration from that English rose, this is the one that I'm thinking of. This really beautiful floral. It's classic. It's got almost like a mottled background, but then look at the detail there in the rose. I like that they haven't just used a plain background. It's that mottled look, which those of us that if you've started your quilting journey, this is something that you will learn along the way. I had no idea about thinking about different textures. I was like, what do you mean, like to touch? And it was like, no, not to touch, to the eye. So when you're looking at a quilt, your eye will travel around and almost go on a bit of a journey, and therefore you need different scales of print, different colours, complementing colours. You need to be able to have different backgrounds like this that add lovely texture. Moda do that for you though. I find it really, really difficult to match fabrics up, to put together a bundle of fabrics that work together. I find that a skill in itself, to be honest. I know a lot of people love doing that, but the great thing about buying the whole bundle today, or picking pieces from this collection, if you're just having, say, a metre of this and a metre of the last rose one, you know that they're still going to work together because they're from the same designer. They just work together so well. That one is beautiful. We've also got two other, saying very, very loosely, sort of blender fabrics. These are gorgeous. This is in the cream, which is WGW174, please, Joe. Open that out. That's 1/2 metre. We're going to cut it off the bolt. It's brand new today, whatever size you want. If you want to make a lot with this, if you want to do big borders, or if you want to do dressmaking, if you're thinking of doing soft furnishings with it, neutral colour, this time in your tonal Middleton is the colour on this one, for just £7.49. Regency Romance. £7.49, 1/2 metre, which is great price, isn't it? You're looking at designer prints, brand new in today. We've got as much as we possibly can from this collection. I'm not sure whether we'll be getting any more of the prints in. I think this is literally all that we could get hold of. So it's definitely worth stocking up whilst you can. Some Moda collections, obviously, we do our very, very best to reorder. And sometimes we can get a print or a different print. It's very, very rare that we're able to get the whole collection back. This, as I say, is everything that we're able to get hold of. It's all brand new today, so it's definitely worth making the most of it whilst you can. £7.49.5 metre for the gold. I've also got the same print, but in rose. Already absolutely flying out by the 1/2 metre. This is the rose, and then the blue is gorgeous as well. This is CV165. If you do jot down those codes, then it will be really easy to locate on the website. They're just the ones at the top of the screen here. Although, saying that, everything that we've had on today's show will be listed directly underneath me on the website. So if you're watching online or if you're watching on the telly, if you go to the website, all of the products on today's show are listed underneath us. And I know so many people have got involved already, whether it be from the early bird or whether it be from the Gutermann threads or whether it be from the wadding. Is the wadding now gone? Yeah, long gone, long gone. Or if you manage to get the Style Fix, the Vaseline sewing foam, well, I say sewing foam, stick-in foam, or the H640, the Osnaburg. I can't bring it on air today. We haven't literally got it here, but there's so many of you who've already spotted that on the web shop. So do have a good scan through. It's always worth, even if you buy, say, half a metre of this today, you've already paid that P&P. It's £3.95, so you might as well just have a bit of a scour through. I always suggest that anyway. If you're watching on the telly and you just buy one item, it's definitely worth, even if it be later tonight, don't worry, no matter what time you come back today, you'll still only pay one P&P. So it's definitely worth this evening if you're sitting, you know, on the sofa watching the telly and just want a bit of a scroll through, see what you can find, any bargains, type in early birds. Always just type in the word early bird and see what you can get. I managed to get some elastic yesterday from us. I know you can't get it anywhere at the moment. Tell me about it. I managed to get it yesterday. £7.49.5 metre. Your pink floral stems for under £7.50. Oh, it does look beautiful, that blush pink. Just half a metre. I mean, even if you're doing smaller projects, I'm thinking like nice little needle cases or little pin cushions or a storage box with like a nice lacy trim. You can make it look really antique, can't you? Still lovely. Those of you that know Tilly Rose, if you've seen any of her books, that's what it reminds me of. You know, you could print lovely old photographs and family trees and stitch pearls into it. Maybe have a bit of a memory book or, you know, a memory item of, you know, somebody, if you've managed to get any, if you've inherited any pearls or clothes or things like that, you can make a bit of a scrapbook. But along with this, I think it will make it look really in keep. That's lovely. Right, now, this one is called Alice. It's FPW167, your item code number to jot down. This reminds me of really fancy wallpaper. Do you know what I mean? If you were to go to a beautiful stately home, what I like about it as well, it has no direction. Even though yes, it's a definite stripe, obviously, the floral print runs one way up one stripe and the other way up the other. So if you are doing something, I always think, oh gosh, it's very, very difficult to work with a stripe like this. But actually, if you're doing bag making or you're dressmaking, you're worried about getting the direction right, as long as you're obviously looking at your stripe, you're fine. £7.49.5 metre. I think this one's going to be extremely popular. There's so much that you're going to be able to do with this. I'm thinking, again, fussy cutting. Because if you imagine this, Joe, can I just put this on the desk, please? I'm just imagining if you were to look at different sections, say you've got this section here, and then you've got the middle section. So you could fussy cut lots of different parts of this and it will look completely different. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Why does it look Christmassy to you? Is it because this like it's almost like a wreath? That way it looks like a stag. £7.49. I'm not seeing that at all. It's weird how things, I think it's because you're getting geared up for Christmas. For the end of the month, our show's coming up at the end of the month. You're feeling Christmassy today? Are you? Why? He says, I don't know. I wonder why. John Cole Morgan, every single time I tune in, he's getting really excited about Christmas. I'm like, oh my word. Although I had no idea that we were near the end of July. No idea. I have no idea how we've got there. So it does sort of scare me a bit actually that, need to start prepping, and we do need to start getting in gear for it, because thing is, we don't know what it's going to be like still outside, and the deliveries and Christmas makes and things like that. You best just get it sorted, I think, now. I think it could be still a strange time near to Christmas. So I definitely want to be prepared more so than, definitely not going to be doing the dash that I normally do on Christmas Eve. £6, £7.49, sorry, a half metre. Hang on, wasn't it £7.99? All of them £7.49. I don't know, have I been saying £7.99? I don't know. Got a picture. Ah, this is Christopher. Amazing. How old is he? Do we know? Oh, well, no, we don't know exactly how old he is. He's young though, isn't he? This is him. This is in Houston. This was when he was launching the Regency Romance range. Oh, he looks lovely, doesn't he? So the quilt behind him is called Panel Magic. It's by a quilter called Doug Lecco. That's using all 4 of the colourways. It's absolutely beautiful. That isn't the vintage quilt, by the way. That's using the Regency fabrics that we're looking at here. But the quilt that you can just see part of on the right-hand side is the one from the 1800s that inspired Christopher to design this collection with Moda. Look at his big smile. Oh, he'd be lovely to get on air. We need to try and make it happen. Does anybody know Christopher or know of Christopher that we can get him on air? That would be so good, wouldn't it? He looks really nice. Right, so let's recap the bundle. So you're getting half a metre of each of these fabrics, and they are all beautiful together. The rose, 3 different colourways of this print, plus, well, is that okay? Is that about in the right place? £58.99. The only way of getting this one, the only way of getting this one now is in the mega bundle. It's sold out by the half metre. Brand new in today and already sold out by the half metre. Be aware, if there's any of the prints that you know that you definitely want, make the most of it. So that one, sold out by the half metre. There's another one that's only got, I believe, this one. So this one, there's half metre left. Half a metre of this one left. So if you do want any of these prints, still available in the bundle at the moment. We've got 10 bundles left. That's it. We have done as many bundles as we possibly can. We knew this would be popular, but I don't think we were ready for sellouts by the half metre. So please do be quick. All beautiful. You still got a chance. You haven't missed out yet. If you're watching a replay, it's definitely worth finding out availability, calling the customer service team and asking the team availability. £58.99. They're so lovely as well. I must say, our team you can contact at any time. I have been known to ring them quite late at night, and they're so lovely. They're really helpful and really accommodating. So any questions or any problems that you have, if you're struggling online, don't worry, call them and they will help you out. So yes, make the most of that full mega bundle. It's just £58.99. And as Kat said, there's now single figures, less than 10 chances to be able to get that whole mega bundle. Amazing. Now, we've also got some complementary fabrics. Now, is it as a bundle? Separate. Right, let me display this a bit nicer so you're going to be able to see these. We've got the perfect complementary bundle. Now, let's face it, when you're putting together a quilt, if you're buying the whole mega bundle, maybe you want to add some more, you want to make it go a bit further, it is ideal to get hold of these Rose and Hubble fabrics. They're Rose and Hubble, 100% cotton, beautiful colours, and if I just put them along like this, then you will see straight away that they complement perfectly. This is why our team are fantastic, because sometimes if you're looking on the website, if you're looking at small sort of images, it's really hard to say, what neutral tone do I put with cord? Do I go with the nude or the biscuit? Or they're all different names and you're just seeing pictures, whereas actually we've sort of teamed them all in. We've teamed them all in so you can see which colours work well best together. So first of all, we've got ivory. Now, ivory, obviously, is going to be able to go with all of them. Those of you that managed to get your lovely blue, how striking will that look? Now, it isn't white, it is ivory. So it's a bit softer than if you were to look at it, you know, against white. It does look very white on that screen, but yeah, you will definitely get ivory. £3.49 a half metre. So this is what I mean. It's your chance to just be able to get it by the half metre. We always have them by the half metre on the website anyway. But I think whenever we bring them on air, everybody sort of remembers and goes, oh yeah, actually, do you know what? I'll stock up because it's a good chance, especially, you know, if you're doing things like your Draught Excluders. I think that's ivory as well, actually. Or maybe it's cream or vanilla. But I do like having ivory because it's slightly softer than if you were to have a stark white. That's £3.49. Right. The next one is blush. So again, let me just put it next to any of these colours. The Aqua by the half metre sold out, so anybody who managed to get it, well done. But it also goes with any of these colours. Those two together are perfect. Love those together. That's your blush. The bag made out of those two together would look beautiful. If you want to do the straps like Cara demonstrated, or if you're putting it next to any of them, in fact, look, they all go really, 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 really well. With your golds. £3.49. We've also got the peach. See, again, that one with just slightly softer. I'll show it you next to the blush so you can see the colours. So it looks, it almost has a more of a contemporary feel when you put it with the bright pink, but then slightly softer next to peach. Peach is also going to look really nice with this one. I'll tell you what, they work really, really nicely together. Which ones do you think? That one's gorgeous together as well. I'm laughing at Joe suggesting a blouse. Don't get me wrong, yeah, it looked lovely, but I just didn't expect Joe to say a blouse. Joe, what do you ever wear a blouse? A lady's blouse? Like a shirt? Blouse? It wouldn't work as a shirt, but it would look lovely as a blouse. It's just one of those words, isn't it, when you say blouse quite a few times? It doesn't sound like a real word anymore, does it? This is your nude. Perfect. Absolutely. I would put this with all of the colours, with the whole one. I would have this as your background, and then you can just have every single one. That is the exact colour that's running through all of these, I think. This is, for me, the match. It is the one to go with any of these. It is nude, 100% cotton, half a metre, and it's £3.49 Rose and Hubble quality. Love that. And then this one matches more with that, with the cord colour. But that definitely get nude, and I'd probably get half a metre or a metre of tan as well. That as well at £3.49. Definitely get nude, Joe. Hang on, put your trousers back on. I'm joking. Sorry, Kat, that's your brother, isn't it? Look at all these. So then, complementing again. Maybe for linings for bags, these are ideal as well. They're just going to be, it's great to have in your stash anyway for all sorts, for applique projects. Lovely. £3.49 a half metre. So, mega bundle. Just to remind you, it is now less than 10 of those available at £58.99. £58.99. All available by the half metre, apart from the one blue, and then there's only half a metre left of the cord. Okay. We've got new ginghams. This is exciting. So the pink, I believe, was put into the bundle with the bag earlier on. So we haven't got the pink, but we've got navy, we've got yellow, we've got blue, and we've got green. all of these individually. I do love a gingham. Should we start with the green? I absolutely love this one. It's just so classic, isn't it? I find this really nostalgic. I always like the idea of making your own little picnic baskets, storage boxes. Even if you're starting out sewing, at £3.99, right, if you get half a metre of this, let me show you what half a metre looks like, because it's a lot of fabric, and you're thinking of making, well, because obviously it is a gingham, it's not a printed gingham, it is an actual gingham, so the reverse is the same, so you don't need to worry about things like, when I first started sewing, I think I got a bit discombobulated, one for a better word, where it was right sides together, wrong sides, am I getting it the right way round, wrong way round? Whereas with this, you don't need to worry because they're both the same. But what I'm thinking for new projects, nice little easy projects, things like hair scrunchies, things like little pin cushions, scissor keepers, a cushion. You could do a nice frilly trim on it as well. Little bag. Because you've got that really nice grid on there, you've got that great, obviously, print, the check, you can learn to sew in a straight line by using those guidelines. I know it sounds silly, but it's actually something that I still struggle with, is just sewing in a straight line. I still always draw myself a friction pen line. If I know I want it straight and it's going to be, stitches going to show up nice and clearly, I'll always do a line to try and give me a bit of a guide of where to sew. So this is really handy, isn't it? £3.99 as well is a bargain, Cat. This one, very, very popular already. This colour was already selling before the show. It's £3.99 half metre, and you can today buy the half metre. If you've got any wicker baskets, whether it be storage tubs or picnic baskets, this would be lovely to have just to make the lining of it even. I do like having that little peekaboo like Cara did. She loved the gingham lining. It looked really nice. Maybe if you're making gifts, or look at even the salvage, it's lovely and it's really lovely and tassely, I was going to say. Like the fringe. I use fabric used fabric to wrap Cat's birthday present at the weekend. It's nice. These would be nice little, if you're making your own jams and chutneys as well. For £3.99, how many little tops are you going to be able to make for your jam jars? Reusing them for things like buttons. More for the upcycling and sustainability. I was talking to my friend about this over the weekend. Doing our bit for the environment and the community. It's really nice to, if you've got old jars and things, you can keep them for pen pots or button pots and upcycle them. Make your own jams. Or who is it that's, my friend, she's been growing so many strawberries this year, making strawberry jam. You would not believe how much sugar goes into making your own strawberry jam though. It puts you off a bit, if I'm honest. I made strawberry jam and I was like, oh my word, more sugar? Are you sure more sugar? Yep, more sugar. And I'm like, oh, I literally spread it on so thick onto my toast. And now I'm being a bit more cautious of how sparingly you should be. Oh, I do love strawberry jam on toast. Oh, is everyone at home eating their breakfast? We're so jealous. I did make banana bread though yesterday, but I forgot to put the butter in and the baking powder, so it's quite flat. It's just like banana mush. It's like a banana pancake, isn't it, really? Nice, thick banana pancake. £3.99 this time for the blue. What colour was your school uniform? Mine was this colour when I was little. It just reminds me of little summer dresses. What about like a little pinafore? Or a little boy's suit, baby blue. Little baby blue. You could do all sorts of nice new baby projects. My real good friend, she is literally about to give birth. She hasn't gone into labour yet, but she's overdue now. She's ready to pop. So I'm still holding fire on what to get for her, because I don't know whether she's going to have a little boy or a little girl. But it's so exciting, so exciting. But this would be so pretty, wouldn't it? Oh, it's such a lovely baby blue that you actually, it's like I thought, little girl's dress, little boys, dungarees. Oh, like, what's his name? Who's the elephant, the patchwork elephant? Nelly. Nelly the elephant who packed his trunk and said goodbye to the circus. No, you're thinking of Elmo. Who's the patchwork elephant? There was a book. Please will you let us know, because it's going to annoy us. studio@sewingstreet.com, by the way. If you do want to come and say hello to us, please do. Should we do the yellow? What's the time? No, it's not. Oh, gosh. Everybody's saying, no, I had my breakfast ages ago, Vic. It's now nearly brunch time. It's now nearly coffee and cake time, isn't it? £3.99. A half metre. This one is your yellow at £3.99. Isn't that a beautiful bright yellow? What about placemats? You could odor coat them, couldn't you? Has everybody had a go with their odor coat yet? Oh, it's so good, isn't it? Honestly, when I first got odor coat, I was literally looking around the house like, oh, what else can I make water resistant? It's so exciting. Pardon? All of Kieran's clothes, yeah. All the walls. To be fair, I do need to have a water-resistant paint. That would be fabulous, wouldn't it? I'd just work down the walls. £6.99. We've got the navy blue. I really like the edge of it, the lovely frill that you get. Navy blue is going to be popular. Oh, men's lightweight shirt. Nice lightweight shirt, great for dressmaking. And look at the price point again. It's £3.99. I can see you rocking a nice little shirt in this, Joe. A nice pair of chino shorts, loafers. Look the part. You could still quilt with this, by the way, and it would look really nice, actually, to add I know I was talking about texture, I mean actual physical texture here. If you've got your woven fabric and you've got your quilting weight cottons, just adding this in. I know that Anna Maria Horner did a collection where she had gingham printing, and it looked really, really cool. Or was it Cave? I think it was Anna Maria Horner. But it's a really good idea to still add it in. Just be aware, obviously, when you're quilting, it'll feel slightly different, but it is a cotton. It is your beautiful dyed cotton, so it looks amazing. Right, all of those brand new ginghams are on the website. If you missed out on those, check out the web. Don't forget, the brand new Gutermann threads today were beautiful. Just look at all of these colours for less than £40. You've got 100 metre spools. I know, we're spooling you. Way. And it comes in such a lovely nostalgic tin, 1930s Gutermann threads. All of your classic sew all threads, great for all types of sewing, and a lovely gift idea, actually. Really nice gift idea for somebody. So just wanted to quickly remind you on that before we go to the break. Spend the next few minutes checking out your basket on any of the Moda fabrics, any of the blenders, the ginghams, the Gutermann, the early bird as well. Don't go anywhere though, we're back with Cara Ackerman right after this. Shopping with us couldn't be easier. If you want to shop online, then you can head to our website, www.sewingstreet.com. It will redirect you to our sister channel Jewellery Makers landing page. Don't worry, you haven't gone to the wrong place. We're simply using their website temporarily while we're building our own web shop. Scroll down past the Watch Live part and you'll see all of the products that you will have seen on air on today's live show. You can also shop our catalogue by clicking a category, clicking a product to view closer, and adding it to your basket. Once you're ready to check out, you will need to create an account, which is absolutely free to do so, but it will mean that you can check out on as many orders as you want throughout the day with still only paying one postage and packaging. If you'd prefer to speak to somebody in our UK-based customer service team, then you can do so via the free telephone line number 0800 001 4433. They will not only help you create an account, but will also help you with any of your online shopping.
If you love sewing, then you need the UK's favourite sewing magazine. Every month, you'll receive exclusive patterns. Follow simple step-by-step guides suitable for all skill levels to make your own stunning clothes, accessories and more, together with inspiring tips and tricks from industry experts. Join in and discover your love for sewing. Try Love Sewing today and get your first 3 issues for just £6.
Would you like to take part in our weekly competition? If you do, then all you have to do is head to the Sewing Street fan page group on Facebook. Post your picture of your make. Myself, Debbie Shaw and John Cole Morgan love looking at all of your makes every week. We pick our favourite and announce the winner every Friday live on the show. Happy sewing and good luck.
Hello there, I'm Debbie Shaw and I would love you to join me on the first Monday of every single month for Sewing Street Surgery. Now this is a dedicated hour where I answer your questions, and that could be questions about techniques, it could be questions about tools, it could be questions about new products, or maybe something that you've seen that you just don't understand. There's a lot of questions about tensions on sewing machines, and there's a lot of questions about working with different weights of fabrics. So if you have a question that you'd like to ask me, the easiest way to bring a question over to us is to go to our Facebook page and post your question on there. I will collate all of those questions throughout the week. If we need any new products for you, or if we need any new demonstrations, those will all be worked on leading up to that first Monday of the month. So do join me, Debbie Shaw, on Sewing Street Surgery on the first Monday.
Hello, my name's Jenny McCreary and I am a guest designer on Sewing Street. A little bit of an introduction into me and who I am. I've got some questions here I'm going to answer. What do I specialise in? Dressmaking, 100%. It's my favourite thing. Made this wee guy behind me here. I absolutely love it. Bikinis, underwear, dresses, hair accessories. Does that count as dressmaking? Maybe not. I love homewares as well, to be fair. I'm not an expert in homewares. I would say I'm an expert in dressmaking. Quilting is the one thing I do not do yet. There's still time. I'm really worried. I don't want to get into quilting because I know that it is. There's just so much to it, and I'll get right into it, and then might leave dressmaking behind. I'm not really finished with dressmaking yet, so dressmaking is my thing. I got into sewing. This is quite a common one actually. It was for Halloween costumes. So I wanted to be the Tooth Fairy. My mum had a sewing machine, she knew how to use it, and I used it to make a tutu. That was the first thing I ever made. And then I realised I loved clothes, I loved fashion, and I then went on to study at university after school. So I studied fashion business, and now I do it for a job. What a dream. Something unexpected about me that is sewing related. Probably back in 2011, I think it was, when the royal wedding was about to happen in April. It was Kate and Will's wedding. A customer of the place I worked at the time challenged me to make the dress live. So nobody knew what the dress looked like, and I made it in 8 hours live while I was watching. So everyone else was having a nice wee day watching the royal wedding, and I was like sweating, it was roasting. Some newspapers came to watch as well. Yeah, that was interesting. I made it in 8 hours. Sewing tip that I would share with you guys, one thing that I share with my customers a lot is not to get too hung up on trying to learn everything. You will never know everything about sewing. It's impossible. There's so much new stuff happening all the time, and new techniques and new tools and all that sort of thing. Just give it a go. What's the worst that could happen? See, as long as you're using a fabric that's not like wild expensive, and it's not going to be too much of a loss if it doesn't quite go to plan, then just give it a go. You'll learn so much just by giving things a go. My claim to fame, that is a hard one. Oh wait, obviously my claim to fame is being a guest designer on Sewing Street, right? That's it. I do actually tell people that all the time when they say, tell me something unusual about you. That's it. Another claim to fame, a sewing related one, I own the UK's only sewing tuition franchise. I suppose that's nice. No one else has that. I've done other TV before as well. I've done some game shows. You can look it up if you want. I have done some game shows before. I love TV, it's great fun. I am looking forward to sewing with you guys soon on Sewing Street.
Welcome back, Cara. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you.
I just saw the little advert there. Christmas coming soon, did it say? How do you feel about that?
I'm
scare you?
okay because no, it doesn't. Because anybody who sews, this is the time to get started.
Yeah.
And I always sort of say, oh well, I'll leave it, and then run out of time. So I have got a few Christmas projects on the go.
Amazing.
Already.
Keep your eyes
in my
peeled.
pile.
So I wonder, are you on at all? Do you know the end of? You've been asked to do your Christmas stuff.
Not yet.
No, not yet. I don't know when it is.
Who knows?
Okay,
Who knows?
Keep your eyes peeled for all the Christmas stuff that's coming your way very, very soon as well. So this hour we're looking at really useful projects, and actually this is quite transferable that you could make different projects. You can make a cushion with this, or Draught Excluder is what we're looking at.
Lots and lots of different things. I mean, the book is lovely. It's really, really nice. I love Debbie's books anyway, but there's so many different ideas. And what I like about it is that you can, make variations on them.
Yeah.
So, you can do cushions, just loads and loads of different things. And like I say, the Draught Excluder, you can actually take that idea and make, make cushions from it, pictures from it, lots of different things. It's just so nice.
So even though it says there's 22 projects in here, using leftover pieces of fabric or, smaller pieces of fabric, there's so much more that you can do. Like you say, 22 projects, but actually different variations as well.
Definitely. And there's lots of technical information as well. So if you've not done much before, it's really sort of good. She takes you through all different things. Again, bias binding. I love making bias binding.
I think that's what I love about Debbie's books as well, is she doesn't presume you know how to do something. She'll never use sort of abbreviations. When I first started, I was reading the instruction, it'd say RST, and I'd be like, what does that mean? Right sides together, or using different jargon. She'll actually, break it down really well for new beginners as well. And
I love the photography as well, taking you through step by step, which is really nice. So there's just so many different things in here.
The tea cozy, I love that.
I know, and I love this. This is a tablet case.
And useful gift ideas as well, aren't they? Really useful gifts. I think that's Debbie's daughter, isn't it?
Yes. I thought, I've just looked and thought, oh.
Looks like Debbie, yeah. So, the book is £9.99.
Gosh.
Which makes it pence per project. I mean, really, really good. 22 pence a project, to be exact. 22 projects in there, which makes it, not 45 pence a project. 45 pence per project.
I'm glad you're working that out.
Oh yeah, it's all in my brain. Nothing to do
or is
with
it all in your ear?
Your back doorstop. There's some great kneeling pads for gardening.
This one,
have you been out in the garden?
I don't do much gardening.
No.
My husband does. I get hay fever, so the sun comes out, all the plants and everything. I love seeing it, but I don't tend to do much gardening. But when I've got a partner who loves it, we've got an allotment, we've got a garden. So this time of the year, we've just got so many things to eat, which is lovely. All the vegetables, all nice and fresh.
Oh, nice. So that'd be a lovely gift for somebody that loves gardening.
Yes, I was given some fabric the other day, some gardening fabric. And I thought, ooh.
Oh, it's a book I think that you're going to be, sometimes you buy a book because you like a project.
Yes.
But actually, I think this is going to be one that you're thinking, what aren't I going to make? Everything is going to be really useful, and nice to see that we've got gifts for everybody as well.
Yes.
It isn't just all of the girls that love sewing. It's something for everyone. So the Draught Excluder is what we're looking at today, and I love these almost like beach hut feels, especially with the bundles that we've got. The one that you're going to be working with has got lovely shells and It's the Harbour bundle. This is the one you're working with, isn't it?
Yes, so this is the one I'm going to be working with. You have the iron-on interfacing, and that's for the actual front of the Draught Excluder, just to give it some body, because if you're doing free motion embroidery, it's good to have you know, that extra stabilizer.
Yeah.
So this is really good. So this is a medium weight one, and you know, there's plenty in there. You can do the front and the back if you want to, but I didn't do the back, I just did the front. And as I say, it just supports the fabric for free motion. Then we have this wonderful panel, which is just
This is
brilliant.
exclusive to us, and they're all 5-inch squares. So those of you that have seen, you know, charm packs, very similar. And I mean, you're going to have so much left over, aren't you?
You are. And I mean, with this particular one, I thought, right, I need to see. And there are 2 individual stripes that are repeated.
Right.
So the top, row number 1, row number 2, and then you get another row number 1, and then another row number 2.
With you.
So, but there's just so much to it.
You get that whole panel included as well. Less than £20, brilliant price, because you also then get, is it half a metre?
Half a metre of the cream. I'm not very good at folding.
Don't worry.
Don't ever give me a map. I'm not, there you go. Right. And then half a metre of your
cream to go with.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So with that as well, like you say, you can choose to make it into a cushion even, couldn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, a cushion, a picture, you know, lots of different things. You know, once you sort of do one of the little huts, then you can sort of think, oh gosh, I can do it for this, I can do it for that. And they're all individual. You know, the way that you're doing them, you're actually going to, you know, make different windows, different door handles, different things like that.
I suppose you can personalise it then to however you want.
You certainly can. Can I just bring
this is the colourway that Cara has already made up the Draught Excluder in. It's called Paisley Grove. So this is your more pinks and blues.
Yeah, it's more pinks and blues. And, you know, when I got the fabric, we'll have a look at the fabric in a moment. But when I got the fabric, I thought, oh, I'm not sure about the black against it. But it's
really
perfect.
stands out, yeah.
It's absolutely perfect. And I think it's the thing with anything sort of more arty. If you're working on it and you're quite close to it, you've got to stand back and you've got to, you know, when I look at it on screen now, it just looks so effective.
It does.
With the bright colours. The pastel colours. And then you've got the bunting, and this is the line here.
That's so gorgeous, isn't it?
And to start with, I actually thought, oh, do you know what? I'm going to actually cut these little triangles, stick them with a tiny bit of glue, then machine over the straight edge of the triangle, and then let them flap so it is like bunting. But actually, when I did that, I thought you can't really see it against the background. So I thought, no, I'll go over it and I'll do the free motion. And again, it just finishes it off.
It does. And I always I like that sort of whimsical doodled effect that you get with free motion. You don't need to actually be the best artist or, you know, the greatest drawer. I always was really scared thinking, oh, you're going to have to be really good at drawing to do this. But actually you don't.
No, you have to have confidence. I think that was the thing. You've
had a go at free motion before, you said.
I have, yes. But that was a little while ago. I can't remember what it was that I did, but anyway, I had a go at some free motion embroidery, and when this project came up, I thought, great, you know, I'll have another go. And then I got everything ready, got all the pieces on the fabric, and I thought, oh, and it was just that first bit. And in fact, you know, what I would suggest, if you've not done free motion before, maybe take a small piece of the actual cotton fabric, one of the little huts, and just practice. And relax. I think the thing is, when I'm stitching, I'm quite particular. So I like my lines sort of quite straight and all of this. This is just completely different. It's just freedom.
Yeah.
It's really, really nice to just sort of, oh, right, okay, all right, I'll go over that again. And it's just beautiful to see something sort of build up. And we were saying that we liked, you know, the fact that we've not used Bondweb. You could use Bondweb if you wanted to on here, but I quite like the fact that it is handmade and that the fabric is starting to fray a little bit. So,
it looks
but
really cool.
it won't, it won't come away
Yeah.
because you've done the machining, but it just gives that handmade effect, and it's just so pretty.
So can we have a look at the panel that you get
Yes.
in that bundle? So with the bundle, once again, you get your interfacing, you get 1/2 metre of your cream, and then you also get your amazing panel, which all of the colours are complementing each other. The prints, you get different scales of print. So you can have a real good play around with different colours, can't you? And same as before, row 1 and row 3 are the same.
Yes.
And row 2 and row 4
Yeah.
are the same. So you get 20 different patterns. So you get 40 squares in total, two of each design, and they are really lovely.
It really, really is pretty. There's so many different sort of elements to it. And when I was cutting out and, deciding which fabric to put where, when I was looking at it, I thought, oh, okay, I'll alternate. So maybe I'll do the main building in the aqua tones, and then the door in a pink tone. And then I thought, right, the roof, I can actually do it in the smaller fabric, the smaller print fabric. But you play around with it until you get, the combination that you like. And what I did is I cut out 2 of the rows. So I still got 2 rows that I can use for something else. Even if you wanted to, you could do a bit of patchwork and put one of the panels in the centre of a cushion and then do like a patchwork border or something. That would be really, really pretty. But cut all your pieces out. So cut the squares out first and then cut your shapes out. And I'll show you how I did mine. And that's when you can start playing around with the combinations. So, but, Debbie gives you lots of information. Again, don't ask me to fold it.
Does she work from 5-inch squares in the book? Or?
No, she just says, a lot of the projects in the book, you can actually use your scraps at home. But, I've got all of this left over, plus my 2 rows. And then I've got the 1 Draught Excluder. And then I decided to do 2 just individual squares.
Nice, in a frame, they look beautiful with some hand embroidery.
Yes. And then I also put 3 of them, or I'm going to put 3 of them on there. And you can just play around with them, lay them on. I use the spray.
505 spray?
Yeah, the 505 spray. Just to hold things in position whilst I was sort of deciding how to do it. And you can move it around as well.
That'd be a lovely gift for somebody who's just moving home potentially, wouldn't it, as well?
Yes,
Put their door number on the front or something.
Yes, definitely. You can play around with it. And I love embellishing things. So I was thinking, I could use different threads, hand embroidery threads, beads, buttons.
Good idea.
Lots and lots of different things.
Little bell.
I got a bit, I didn't get carried away with this. I thought, no. And this was when I was sort of like moving away from, I need to do the free motion. So, I thought, right. So one morning I said, I'm going to sort of sort it out. So if you would like me to,
Absolutely.
I will have a go. So
I do like the idea though of doing hand embroidery. You could do some beautiful like lazy daisies and flowers, couldn't you, in the gardens between the huts or the houses?
You can, just get carried away. You really can. So I'm just going to move that out of the way.
Reminds me of those beach huts that you see in Brighton,
Oh,
all
gosh.
lined up. You could do them all bright, different colours, couldn't you?
All different ones. So you'll see that I've started here and I've put 5 of the houses on. And what I'm going to do is do the 5th one. So I find my little bag. Here we go. I love these little bags. I just use them all the time rather than throw them away. So if I just pop that there, you can see all the little bits and pieces. So I actually cut the shape out of a piece of card, and she suggests sort of just cutting off the corners. So I cut that out, and that was my guide to where on the fabric the actual base of the house was going to go. And you could play around with that. I mean, I've got the crabs going that way, but they do walk sideways. So, I thought, I could have a house like that. And then you wanted to do something, maybe a different colour for the door. So I just had the shape. And again, you can cut this out without having the shape, but I just wanted to be able to look as to where that was going to be positioned on the actual fabric. So then we've got a door there, and then you want the roof, and you want really pairs of the fabric for the roofs. So got a pair here, and they overlap. And again, you want to play around with the positioning of it like that. And that's all you've got.
Right.
So you've got just, 4 pieces of fabric, and you can just play around with how they go together. So as I say, once you've cut all your pieces out, then the bunting, again, I just layered up some of the fabric and then drew triangle, well, didn't draw, I just cut straight onto the fabric and got a real mixture.
Oh, nice.
Of the actual bunting. So you can again play around with the positioning of that. And you've got so many different ones to choose from.
Yeah.
And so these ones, the actual house itself, I adhered to the fabric using the spray.
Yeah.
And then the little bunting, I just used the glue pen.
Oh, so that's just a temporary hold, really, isn't it?
Yes.
Once you've stitched them down, that's going to hold them
yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was just the positioning of it. And then I used a friction pen to draw the line of the bunting going over.
And I suppose it doesn't matter if you stitch exactly on there, because you can make it disappear with your eyes.
Exactly,
can't you?
exactly.
It'll just give you a bit of a guide of where you want it to be.
So I'm going to just move these out of the way, and we'll do number 6 on here. Put that over there. So, as I say, I've already done these, and you can see that I've tried to alternate sort of the dark blue and the lovely sort of, I don't know, orangey colour really. And then you've got the paler colour as well. So I've tried to sort of alternate those. And then this is my last one that I will be doing along here. Now, again, it's against sort of me. I like to be quite accurate, but I just was sort of really just trying to line it up there. Just bear in mind that you have got your seam allowance.
Yeah.
Okay. And as I say, because we're going to be doing free motion, we've put the interfacing on the back. So this is going to be this one here. So just roughly check that you've got it in the right position. Make sure that you move things if you need to move them. So I might move that over. Again, I'm just sort of thinking, want to make sure that that's roughly in the same position. So that's my final one. So before I machine it, I'm going to take some spray. Make sure that you've got good ventilation when you're doing anything like this. And I thought, oh, it's going to go everywhere. But it doesn't. If you're careful, you can use Bondaweb, definitely, but you can also use this just as a temporary. I usually do it against some paper so it doesn't go on to anything else. And as I say, I'm going to just, I was quite happy with the line up there and the gap there, but because it's repositionable. Is that a right word?
Oh, right, okay. So it does actually, you can actually peel that off.
Take it off and put it back on again.
Oh, see, that's good, isn't it? Because
yes.
with Bondaweb, obviously, you iron it on and it is kind of done.
That's it, yeah. So pop that one there. Again, just try to make sure that the door's got the same gap on either side of the actual building. You might get it on your fingers as well, so just... But it's not a permanent glue. Actually, I've been spraying it more towards you, sorry. And you only need a little bit just to hold it in position. Just put that on there. And these are lovely. These are the little shells. So tiny little shells. I think I might need to move that slightly. Yeah. So again, as I say, you wouldn't be able to do that with Bondaweb. Just move that slightly.
Does Debbie suggest using the spray adhesive?
I think so. Either that or the glue pen.
I know she does love the 505 spread.
Yes.
I know she uses it a lot.
Okay, so that's my 5th house. Now you can see actually now the difference between the house with the stitching and without the stitching, and there is quite a bit of difference.
Makes such a difference, doesn't it?
The roof
Really
sort of
make it stand
blends
out.
into the background without the black outline. So here we go.
So now changing your to your free motion foot, because a lot of people have probably got a free motion foot with it. Can we show everyone what it looks like?
Yes.
Because I know we talk about it a lot and we just set it up straight onto the machine, but this is what
it's like a darning foot.
Yeah.
Yes, you may not know it on your machine or in your manual as a free motion foot. It is a darning foot.
Right.
And it has this spring. It also has this lever there that we'll show you on the machine. Needs to go above the actual, I don't know what it's called, the screw that is on the right hand side of the machine. That needs to go above it because you're going to be dropping the feed dogs. So you want this to actually have some tension. So as the needle goes up and down, this will actually keep the tension and everything. So that's really what it will look like. You do have lots of different ones, and there are ones that have an open toe here.
Yeah.
Which is quite good if you want to see, you know, where you're going. They will look slightly different depending on the machine that you've got at home, but this is what we would recommend. So you want to take the whole part off.
So it's normally only with your walking foot or your free motion foot like this that you would need to ever really get your screwdriver out. All of the other feet, you generally, I'm being quite general here, you just tap the back of you. There's a little button at the back to release the foot. Whereas with free motion, you do need to unscrew it.
I haven't got the right screwdriver. I need a Phillips screwdriver if there is one. And I'm not sure whether I'm going to be able to unscrew this. I might need to ask somebody to come on and unscrew it.
Oh no!
Very, very tight.
Oh well, we'll do it on air because we never actually get a chance to do it on air. And
we might be able to do it with this, but that's
just to remind you, the panel that's in at the moment is the Harbour one, which is the one that Cara's demoing with. So it's the blue and the oranges. You get your full 40 5-inch square charm pack. And then you also, well, I say charm pack, it's like charm pack, but all on printed onto a panel. It's exclusive to us. You then also get ½ metre of cream and your interfacing as well for less than £20. Have you got a different screwdriver, Jo?
What I'll do is I'm going to leave that to one side and see if Jo could actually unscrew that. Shall I move it completely? Yeah. Just could unscrew it. And whilst he's doing that, what I'll do is I'll show you the hand embroidery and also how we put a zip in. So we'll
come back to the free.
Hopefully, I really want to do the free motion. I should have done it beforehand and then I would have realised, but I did want to show people how easy it was. But somebody's screwed that up very, very tightly. So, okay, so these are just a few that I have. Let's get my, okay. So if you want to, you can use embroidery thread to do your embroidery, actually. So again, do the same process. So spray the back of the fabric and then layer everything on top. Wonderful. And then you take your strands of embroidery thread. I always recommend that you strip the thread. So you take 3 strands off at a time and lay them all back together. And then this one, I've just done a line of stem stitch. And you can do that quite easily in your hand, or you can do it in embroidery hoop. So we have a lovely embroidery hoop here. So you can actually put the piece of fabric in an embroidery hoop and use that. But if you're happy, if you're just doing a small one, then you can actually just sew it in your hand. Now, the other thing is, because we've got the stabiliser or the iron-on interfacing on the back, that keeps it quite firm. So that's one stitch that you can use. Another stitch would be a blanket stitch or a buttonhole stitch. And you'll do that by putting your needle in the fabric, having the thread going round, and then make a loop again, put your needle in the fabric, come up where the two fabrics meet. So you've got the background fabric and the pattern fabric, and through the loop. And so you can actually do that. You can do a running stitch.
And I could do this on my machine as well, couldn't I? Like a plique round with your blanket stitch or satin stitch. So if you are really, you know, if you haven't got a free motion foot, or you're thinking you're not excluded from doing this, whether it be the hand stitching, which is a nice, you know, mindful, slow stitch.
It's wonderful. You know, I really can lose myself in hand stitching. You just want to make sure that your strands are lying nice and flat. And if you get a bit of a loop, then just jiggle around and it should come nice and neat again. So that's your blanket stitch.
Nice, that looks beautiful as well. That's really going to stand out, isn't it?
It is, definitely. And then another one is just a running stitch, and anybody can do a running stitch. So if you've got maybe a child over the summer holidays that wants to do a bit of sewing, this is a lovely one that they can do. So they can just do a running stitch along there. And if you have got stranded cotton at home in different colours, then you can play around with the colours that you're using. But most children from about the age of, well, I've actually had 5-year-olds doing a running stitch before. You just have to be careful with the needle.
Yeah.
But, you know, wouldn't that be lovely if they were able to do something like this for granny or for auntie or for mum?
During the summer holidays, yeah.
And as I say, if you've got stranded cotton, then you can play around with that. So you can do a running stitch. I could just spend the rest of the day stitching.
I was going to say, it's so relaxing, isn't it?
So I hope you can see that. So we've got a stem stitch here, the blanket stitch here, or buttonhole stitch, and then just a running stitch. And then if you've got any detail or anything like that, you can actually go around. You can play around with the number of strands that you're working with. I've used 3 so that it stands out here. But if you wanted to, you could actually go down to 1 or 2 strands, and you can stitch around the edge of the actual pattern. And if you do it with 1 strand, it's really, really subtle.
Yeah.
If you want to make a big, bold statement, then you can use up to 6 strands. So you can play around. That's why stranded cotton is so versatile, so you can play around with it. You can add French knots, you can add beads, buttons, lots of different things. So
lovely.
So there you go.
So that's another option as well, because you're going to have so much to play around with, aren't you? I suggest everybody do that. And I think Debbie actually says that. She says, why not sew up a beach hat onto a piece of fabric, pop it onto a whitewashed photo frame, and you've got a really beautiful, and she's put shells on the photo frame. Have a good look through the book. She gives you some great tips of how you can then take the patterns.
And play around with them.
Play around.
Yes.
Right, I think we've managed to unscrew it.
Thank you, Jo. So we take the screw out.
Jack of all trades, isn't he?
He is, definitely. Take the whole part of that out. So, you know, that's the whole, the arm and the foot. And then you're going to replace it with your free motion or your darning foot. And you want to just make sure that right, I've got a feeling this might be for a different machine. Let's go. I'm going to. I know. I should have tried it beforehand. Let me have a go. If it doesn't work, I will apologise. I think I should have just attached it to the machine, because you have different heights.
Oh, I see.
Don't you, for the different machines? So this might be for one of the other machines, but let's have a go.
Where did you find this foot, Jo? Oh, with the 680, maybe the 680 is different.
Yeah, I think it's got a different
width.
Do we have a free motion foot for the 560? Do you know?
Don't think it comes with a free motion foot, does it?
Would it be possible to have the 680 then on?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shall I wait until we do that? I can go on and do something on zip.
Yeah, should we do on the zip?
Yeah.
And we'll try and get the other machine.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. What I'll do is I'll undo that and I'll put the other one back. Sorry, Jo, thank you. I'll put the other one back and we can talk about the zip until the other one's ready. Might have to take the threads off and everything. Okay. Right. So, We will get onto the free motion.
Now
we
the
might
zip,
go into the next one.
It's all right. The zip on the back, it's a really lovely long zip,
it's
isn't
beautiful,
it? And now,
yes.
is this a different way of putting in a zip to how we did the zip the last way?
Yes,
Ah,
yeah,
okay.
definitely. We'll find it. Is that mine?
The zip
no,
comes separately to the bundle. It's a really lovely long zip as well. It's a 20-inch zip, I believe.
So you have your backing fabric that you cut in half along the long length, and then you want to mark the centre of the actual fabric. Okay, mark the centre of the fabric, and then place your zip, mark the centre of your zip, and I've done that with a friction pen, and you want to put a mark on your fabric there, and put a mark on your fabric there. And then what you'll do is you will actually then machine along here with a normal length stitch, so something like a 2.4, reverse stitch there, then make your stitch length longer, and you come all the way along, all the way along, all the way along to here. Then you change from your 3, stitch length 3, you do down to your normal 2.4 or 2.2, you do a reverse stitch here, and then machine all the way to the end.
Are they going to be temporary stitches then in the centre?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So once you've done that, we'll pretend that we've done it. I'll put a couple of pins in just to hold it in position. You'll open it out. Okay, and you'll finger press or iron the seam open on the back. And as you say, so from this mark here to this mark here, it's long stitches, and then you've got the shorter stitches at either end. And what you'll do is you'll place your zip right side down, so you've got the pulley on one end, and then you'll place that very, very carefully, and what you're trying to do is actually match the zipper foot with the seam.
Right, okay.
So you will just spend a bit of time just popping that along there. Okay, all the way along. And either pin it in position or use the quilting tape or a glue or something like that to hold it in position, or you can do as I did before and just pin it, because you want to try and make sure that you're actually putting those zipper feet along that seam. And if I show you on here, so this is where it's been machined nice and tightly.
Yeah.
And then this was the seam that had the longer stitches, and then the tight stitches there. You will, with a zipper foot on your machine, you'll then machine all the way round, and this is still closed. Mm-hmm. Okay, machine all the way round, and when you've machined all the way round, you'll get your unpicker, and you'll go along and unpick those stitches down the centre. And then you can open it very easily. And it's just a nice way. This is the back of the Draught Excluder.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't necessarily use that method for dressmaking or anything like that. But for doing something like this, this is ideal.
Yeah, because it means then you can take it off and wash it. If it's going to be
Yes.
on the floor,
Yes,
then that's
definitely.
going to be ideal that you can take it off.
Definitely. The other thing that Debbie suggests, which I think is wonderful, is that instead of putting any stuffing or anything like that in here, put a couple of old towels.
Oh, good idea.
So I've just folded up and rolled a couple of old towels in there. Yeah. And that means that it's nice, it's got a nice weight to it. Whereas if you'd done it with stuffing, it wouldn't have, you know, been as solid as that and as heavy as that.
There might even be as well some plastic, the pellets, you know, the recycled polythene pellets as well. Just even if you add a few of those in the bottom, then that might be ideal for that as well.
Yes, no, that's fine. So as I say, that's the way that you would actually, and then once you've done your machining on the front, you'll put them right sides together, machine all the way around. Remember to leave this open.
Yeah.
Because if you machine all the way around, then turn it through, you're not going to be able to turn it through if you don't.
Good point.
Yeah.
Remember to
do that. Wonderful.
As if by magic.
As if by magic. Thank you, team. Thank you.
We will see how we get on.
How? Please don't tell me we're down to the
exactly.
last
I'm
couple
going
of
to say,
minutes.
please do not jinx it. How are we on for time, Joe? Okay, we're absolutely fine.
Yep, good. What I'm going to do, I think in my book or in here, I'll show you what I did just to get my confidence. And it was just squiggles.
Right.
Okay.
So is it worth just having a bit of a play around with it?
Definitely. Because the other thing that I sort of read was that you can put the stitch length down to 0.
Right.
Because you're controlling the length of the stitch.
Okay.
You want to drop the feed dogs. I'm not sure if Kat's already dropped them.
It might be on the side. There's either a button on the actual right-hand side of the machine, the other side.
Yep. Okay, so I'm going to drop the feed dogs. Again, it will be in a different place on different machines.
Yeah.
This one on the Elna 680, it's on the side here. On my machine at home, I take that out and there's a button just under there. So there are different ways of doing that. But
it has like a zigzag, doesn't it?
Yeah.
With like a little...
Yes, like crocodile teeth. So that's what you do. You also thread your machine with your thread. Pop it all through. Make sure you've got a nice sharp needle. So we talked about changing needles and everything.
Did you do that, Kat?
This looks pretty sharp. This one does. So all set up already. That's all you need. So if you've got one of these, and you've actually got the foot that fits, which is perfect. Drop the feed dogs. Put your stitch length to 0, but don't worry if you don't put your stitch length to 0, it won't make much difference. And then you want to pull your thread through so that it's actually going through the clear plate there. So you've got the spool and the top thread actually coming through there. I will need some scissors. Then pop your foot down. Now the foot down is not going to actually press the foot onto the fabric. It's going to be hovering. It's going to be hovering above. But you need to remember to put that down because that engages the actual tension of the machine. Just going to double check, and my that lever is over the arm there, which is perfect. So I think we're all ready. So I'll pop the needle into the fabric and just pop it up, and I actually do just all right. Just going to rethread the needle. This could take me a while, so you might want to talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, you were saying that we waited on an appointment for the optician.
There we go. Oh my gosh, I'm
Let's go. And you didn't even use a needle threader.
No. So I'll show you how you. You also need to just make sure that that's in there. Okay. So put your needle down and up, and then you can pop something through. I'm going to put my foot up. Just going to pull the top thread through. So I've got the bobbin thread and the top thread are now through the plastic.
Okay.
And I've got a lovely long end, which is good. So then pop the foot down, get the controls, and put the needle in the fabric. And do that a couple of times just to secure it.
Okay.
Okay. And then
just draw.
So I'm doing it quite quickly.
I actually think it's easier, quicker. I don't know why, but I think if I go slower, that's when I lose consistency of how you want to try and get your stitches quite even, don't you?
It is on the fastest thing, so I'm actually going to put that to the middle. So my stitches, you can see, are quite small. You want to get rid of that end there because you don't want that catching. Okay, and you'll notice that I've done it so the needle's down, so I was cutting that without moving it, which was good. So I've slowed it down a bit, not completely tortoise-like, but again it just means your stitches are a little bit longer, and it is so satisfying.
Do all of the feet hop like that? Is this like a hopping foot?
This one's a hopping foot.
I've not seen one hopping
Yeah,
before.
you can get one that stays down.
Right, yeah.
And that if you've got thickness, sometimes if you've got a quilt or something like that and you're quilting, all the quilters and everything will tell you more about it.
Yeah.
I only know this one for this particular thing. So play around with it just on a piece of fabric like that, and then you can have a go, lift your foot up to disengage it again, and now we can have a go on the actual...
This one?
Yes, thank you.
So have you drawn an outline of where you're going, or are
No.
you going to go for it?
I'm going to go for it.
Rebel.
So, I know. The other thing is, so needle in and out and do a couple of stitches just to secure it. The other thing is, don't get tense. If you feel that you're really, really tight in your shoulders and everything like that, it will show in your stitching.
It's quite unnatural though, isn't it? If you're used to sewing, it's weird that you go back and forth and left and right. It feels a bit alien, doesn't it? It's like you say, just relax and breathe.
Yeah, just relax and enjoy it. So I'm not going to actually move my fabric around. I'm going to stitch to the side, and this is where it, it might be a bit alien. I've done a massive stitch there, but it doesn't matter. Whoops.
So you're not spinning around, pivoting your fabric like you normally would.
And it's quite nice actually doing more than one row of stitching, and I think that gives quite a bit of the texture and effect.
Yeah, it gives it this really cool doodled look,
yes,
doesn't it?
It does. So before I get to the thread, I'm going to get rid of that again. And as I say, if you stitched over and over, it actually secures it. So
yeah, because as you say, the 505 spray is a temporary adhesive, so you do want to make sure that it will need some sort of stitching.
Definitely. If you don't want to do stitching, then use Bondaweb. If you're comfortable and happy about the way that you're going to position it. So I've now done round the house. I'm now going to go round the door. It's very satisfying.
You seem very relaxed.
I'm not.
Like a swan.
Yeah, paddling like crazy underneath.
All calm on the surface.
So I've come across there. I'm going to go up and round again. It is more difficult doing this standing up than it is doing it sat at a desk at home and not live on camera.
I wonder if it's easier using the stop button, or do you like to have the control with your
I
foot pedal?
I like to have the control, because your hands are here.
Yeah.
And so if you were doing stop-start, you take your hands off. Right, so I've done round there. So what I want to do, I'm going to try, which must be mad, I'm going to try and do a round window.
Oh.
So you'll do a few stitches to secure it. Okay, lift your needle up, take your foot up and come over, and then I'm going to do a circle just in there. Well, when we've done this, I'll take it off and show you properly. And then I'm just going to do...
Kat said you shouldn't have told us it was going to be a circle, because then you could say, yes, look, I've done a nice triangular window as intended.
So I've gone round there. I'm going to lift my needle up. I want to do a little door handle. So again, lift the foot to disengage the tension.
And at the end, will you trim these threads away?
Yes, and because I've stitched over and over, it's actually just secured it in position. So I'm just doing a few stitches there. Lift that up, lift the foot up. I'm going to actually now do the roof. And because this is quite long, what I found was I found it easier to actually fold that. You can clip it if you want. But this is where I have moved things around. So I'm actually going to do, put the foot down, put my needle in, and then come up, then come across. And you'll get an idea of how long you want your stitches, how straight you want them, or how curved.
I think I like the fact that it's not completely.
Yeah.
I really, if you look at Debbie's in here, you can see the fabric that she's like left the fraying on the edge, and it's all sort of doodles, as I said. I think that really adds to the effect.
It does, and I think that's where maybe I was sort of, I don't want to do something because I like it to be really square and straight, and it is just having that confidence. So I'm just coming back down here.
Oh, this is a lovely sort of afternoon project, rainy day project. Just something to do. It's not, you're not committing yourself to doing a huge, huge quilt. It's something that's really achievable.
So if we take this over here, so you can see I've machined everything so it's nice and secure, and because I've gone over and over at certain areas, I can actually cut these off now and get rid of those. The little door handle, my round window.
Very good circle.
It's not in the centre, but it's off to one side, but that's fine. Take all of that off, and there you go.
Amazing. I want everybody to have a go at doing some free motion. What was it that you want to show? We've got about 4
bunting,
minutes.
Yeah.
4 minutes.
Just very quickly, if I can find my little bag. There we go.
So did you say you stuck this down with the Solan glue pen? It's not in stock at the moment. I'll tell you what, every single time that it comes in, I have to shout from the rooftops to let everyone know it's back, and then it sells out. I honestly think that we take all of Solan's stock as well.
Oh gosh.
We constantly have got it on reorder, so as soon as it comes back in, I will let you know. But keep your eyes peeled for it on the website. If you don't already have one, definitely get one.
If you're a bit hesitant about where to do the bunting, then have a close look at what Debbie's done, which is what I did.
So she's sort of gone all...
Yeah, but you can, because it's the friction pen, it will come out, and then you can just draw. And, the bunting would actually be across like that, then across between the actual huts, maybe a bit higher on this one and down. So you can just do really what you like.
If you want to try out a friction pen, by the way, they're fantastic. £3.99. They weren't actually designed especially for fabric. It was supposed to be for paper because they're like a ballpoint pen, aren't they?
It's amazing. And if you don't like what you've done, you don't have to follow it.
Exactly, yeah. So you can. It is great that you can erase it. Now,
Yeah.
if you're writing on paper, you can erase it with the sort of a rubber on the end of it, or it will erase with heat. So I've told this story many a time, but a lady messaged in saying somebody did their homework and laminated it, and the laminator's hot. So all of that's a good excuse, isn't it? Not the dog ate my homework anymore.
Oh gosh.
Did my homework in friction pen and laminated it.
Oh goodness. So I've got my little triangles. This is a rough piece of paper. I've taken my glue pen and I'm just going to drop a bit of glue there and then just position it. Now I'm positioning it over the line because my first line of stitching is going to actually hold that in position.
Right.
So I'm only going to put a couple of these because I know we're running out of time. But
it's nice to do with children, actually, this is, isn't
Lovely.
it? Because there's not loads and loads of sewing. It's like a bit of sticking, bit of cutting, bit of positioning. There's loads of different bits to do.
And you can do as many flags or as few flags as you like.
Like you say, when you see it on there, you can't see the bunting as clearly until you go around it with your stitching.
Yeah.
Really makes a difference, doesn't it?
So I've done a few there. So if we've got time, I'll just show you how you do it on the free motion. This is so good to get this working.
I know. Oh, I knew that. Do you know what? I've been very relaxed though because we've got Kat and Joe here.
Yes, perfect.
And when you're looking
Dream
at
team.
two Wilcoxes, you feel very at
double
ease.
Wilcoxes. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to actually machine along here. Okay. And that will hold the bunting in position. Then I'm going to come back and then I'm going to go round the flags.
Right.
Okay. Well, that's the plan. So I'll put my foot down and as I say, you don't have to be too accurate to the line. You'll see that I'm not here. Okay. And then in fact what I'll do is I'll just go around the flags now.
So yeah, Joe's just asked a good question actually, and I think that was what Cara wanted to do at the start. Joe said, so could you do it that the bunting was sort of loose and a bit more tactile, and that was what you intended on doing, wasn't it? But it didn't really show up as well as you'd wanted.
No, it would if it was plain fabric. If you wanted to do the bunting, say in plain solid fabric that contrasted with the background, then it would, and it would float in the breeze. But because some of the colours aren't solid, then it looks better. I'll actually come back, and if we've got time, I'll just glue the other ones on. I'm just going to do a few stitches in one position.
We've got a minute.
Okay. So if we were to put, I won't glue them, but if we were to put some of the bunting there, it's not too bad with this one. With the pale one, they didn't stand out so well.
I think it makes a difference going around it.
Yeah,
I really do.
That's your black outline, and these are without the outline. So I don't think they stand out so well, but it's a personal choice, absolute personal choice.
Absolutely. They're gorgeous though. Thank you
that's
so
okay.
much.
Thank you very much.
Oh, okay, it's all them as we made it.
With us.
I know, we were smooth like swans, weren't we? We were panicking underneath, but thank you. They're both gorgeous projects and really achievable. So do you know when you're back next, Cara?
4th of August, I think.
4th of August.
Yes,
Gosh,
so
that's
a couple of weeks.
Crazy, isn't it? 4th
I know.
of August.
I know.
Do you know what you're doing yet?
No.
Wonder whether it'll be Christmassy things, I wonder.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? It's exciting because I love the fact that I don't know what's going to come, and I hope that some of the things, if I've not done it or I've done it a couple of times, that I'm trying to sort of explain to you easier ways of doing things and things like that.
It's been so nice to be back with you.
Oh, it's
so
been lovely.
Nice.
Thank
you ever so much.
You.
We're going to have a bit of a recap of the bundles. So for those of you that haven't yet shopped with us, this is how you do it. Shopping with us couldn't be easier. If you want to shop online, then you can head to our website, www.sewingstreet.com. It will redirect you to our sister channel Jewellery Makers landing page. Don't worry, you haven't gone to the wrong place. We're simply using their website temporarily while we're building our own web shop. Scroll down past the Watch Live part and you'll see all of the products that you will have seen on air on today's live show. You can also shop our catalogue by clicking a category, clicking a product to view closer, and adding it to your basket. Once you're ready to check out, you will need to create an account, which is absolutely free to do so, but it will mean that you can check out on as many orders as you want throughout the day with still only paying one postage and packaging. If you'd prefer to speak to somebody in our UK-based customer service team, then you can do so via the free telephone line number 0800 001 4433. They will not only help you create an account, but will also help you with any of your online shopping. What a team, eh? What a team. Well done, team. We've had an amazing, amazing show. So thank you so much for all your lovely messages. Love this Draught Excluder. I really like that as a long cushion on bottom of your back. Because you could make it slightly shorter, couldn't you? You could do it with 4 of them and have it as the bottom of your back, or you could have it as, like a nice, if you've got like an armchair that it sits just along the bottom of an armchair, they look lovely. Really, or make it even longer and have it running along a bed even, like single or double bed, you can make it even longer. So, because you're going to get loads of fabric, we're going to start with the Paisley Grove, which is the one that Cara made the Draught Excluder up with. So you get your interfacing, 1/2 metre of your cream. It has got the zip, which is available separately as well. So if you do want to take it off and wash it, you can. And you also get your panel, which, remember, comes with 40 gorgeous complementing 5-inch squares, printed especially for us, designed and printed especially for us. It's exclusive to us. Plus, remember, as I say, you get your interfacing, as you will, if you do want to do your free motion quilting, you will need to interface them. 505 spray or your Solon glue pen, Bonder web, however you want to do your applique, and gorgeous free motion. Definitely, if you've got a free motion foot and you've never put it on before, have a go. Hopefully Cara's inspired you. That bundle is brilliant. And I must say, you're going to be able to make loads and loads from Debbie's book from this panel. Well, look, there's so many patterns that call for 5-inch squares. That's why you see pre-cut charm packs so frequently. So, the other bundle is with your interfacing, with your 1/2 metre of your cream, and this time I really like that seaside feel. Maybe you know somebody who lives by the seaside. Maybe you know someone who wants to live by the seaside. Joe saying, oh, I do want to be beside the seaside. They are, they're lovely, aren't they? Or maybe you've got a caravan or second holiday home. They're really gorgeous, aren't they? Even if you were to do a patchwork, just literally cut the squares and practice simple patchwork with them. Lots you can do. That whole panel, 1/2 metre of your cream and your interfacing for £19.99, and that's to make your excluder plus lots more. Of course, whenever we're talking about our Deb, we're not biased or anything, are we? But she's the best. Value for money is fantastic with her books. We all know she's a fantastic teacher. And yeah, we absolutely love all of her books. Look, there's the Draught Excluder. You could make so many of these. And remember, as Cara was saying, all of your lovely techniques are at the start. You've got cushions. Oh, little flower pot, rustic flower pot. That's cool, isn't it? 22 great gift ideas with lovely instructions, reading pillows, tulle apron, kneeling stool, bags, wallet, tablet case, cozy pyjama case, hot water bottle colour, lovely gift for people. And we're at 45 pence a project. All transferable skills, great projects with lots of different variations as well. So we love that book, especially at that price. And it's our Debbie Shaw. Everybody needs to, of course, support our lovely Debbie. Definitely make the most of her book. Okay, so coming up, last hour, we've got the extra large Stripology finally back in stock. Those of you that have been missing out on it, we're going to bring it back. Those of you who have never used Stripology rulers before, I'm going to show you how it will just take away so much of that cutting time that you just get sewing. You'll love it. Do not go anywhere. We're back right after this.
Hello, my name is Sally Stevens. I'm from Worcestershire, a little town called Upton upon Severn, which is a lovely little riverside town. And not far from there, I also have a little sewing studio, so I can work and leave all my mess left out when I'm preparing projects and quilts and so on. My speciality is, in fact, quilting, patchwork and quilting, and I probably started that when I was about 14 years ago. So as I often joke, that was only 7 years ago. In fact, it was rather a lot longer. But I've always enjoyed crafting, and patchwork really hooked me, and I love it. So now then, what can I tell you? Something you may not realise about me is that although lots of you have seen me many, many times on Sewing TV and at classes, because I teach as well, I also do a lot of unpicking. So don't be afraid ever. If you have to unpick things, so do we. It's not a problem. We all have to start somewhere. And sometimes you get a bit cocky and think, oh, I can just do that without pinning or without this. And then you think, should have paid attention to my own words. So some sewing tips for you. That's one, keep a seam ripper handy. That will always be your friend. And another one that I think is very important, whether you're a beginner or more experienced, when you're sewing something, particularly for the first time, a new technique, slow down. There's no rush. It's not a race. Have a little practice with spare fabrics if you've got them before you use your best fabric that you've just purchased, so that you get your techniques just right. But also slow down, take your time, watch what you're doing, think about what you're doing, and read the instructions. That's always very useful. So what can I say? I've been asked to say what my claim to fame might be, and I would have to say, in all honesty, being on Sewing Street.
Hi, I'm Rosie Wells.
My name's Poppy and I'm a nutritional therapist.
Hi, I'm Ruth Lynette and I can't wait to join you all on the brand new Gemporia Lifestyle channel.
If you're a fan of primal living, you're going to adore what's around the corner.
What is lifestyle? Lifestyle is healthy habits.
Feeling good, it's about looking great.
Making sure that we're taking good care of ourselves inside.
And it's about the life that you lead and the home that you live in.
All of this is why I'm so excited.
We've got the most wonderful team.
Homeware deals and primal deals under one roof on one channel.
I can't wait to share this brand new channel with you. So we'll see you soon on Gemporia Lifestyle.
Gemporia Lifestyle, coming soon to Freeview Channel 74 and Gemporia.com.
If you'd like to get in touch with us during our live show and send in any messages or any questions, then you can do it on studio@sewingstreet.com. Alternatively, you can message us on our official Facebook page.
Hello everyone, my name's Cara Ackerman and I'm absolutely delighted to be here at Sewing Street. I actually originated from Hertfordshire, then went down to Hampshire and then it ended up in the East Midlands. I've been in the East Midlands for about 40 years now, which seems crazy, but 36 of those I actually worked with DMC Creative World, which was wonderful. I really, really enjoyed that. And then I decided to go freelance and that's how I got introduced to Sewing Street. I love doing anything to do with textiles, so embroidery, cross stitch, patchwork, done a bit of quilting, bag making, toy making, oh goodness, there's loads and loads of things. What I love doing is just trying something new, and I think one of the tips is don't be frightened of trying something new. You always learn from it, and you know, don't be scared of making mistakes either. We all learn from the mistakes that we make. Little bit about me that you might not know and that's a bit of a surprise. I once went to the garden party down at Buckingham Palace, the Queen's garden party, for some work that I did with Marie Curie. I was so lucky to go there and just a wonderful time. So I hope to see more of you on Sewing Street and I hope to try lots of new crafts with you. So see you again soon. Bye bye.
Shopping with us couldn't be easier. If you want to shop online, then you can head to our website, www.sewingstreet.com. It will redirect you to our sister channel Jewellery Makers landing page. Don't worry, you haven't gone to the wrong place. We're simply using their website temporarily while we're building our own web shop. Scroll down past the Watch Live part and you'll see all of the products that you will have seen on air on today's live show. You can also shop our catalogue by clicking a category, clicking a product to view closer and adding it to your basket. Once you're ready to check out, you will need to create an account, which is absolutely free to do so, but it will mean that you can check out on as many orders as you want throughout the day with still only paying one postage and packaging. If you'd prefer to speak to somebody in our UK-based customer service team, then you can do so via the free telephone line number 0800 001 4433. They will not only help you create an account, but will also help you with any of your online shopping.
Hello, my name's Fiona Hesford and I'm founder of Sew Girl. I'm based down in Worthing on the south coast of England. And I've got a range of sewing patterns which I've developed over the last few years, which are projects for loose-fitting clothing, everyday, simple garments, things that I really love to wear myself. And I'm going to be bringing you them to Sewing Street over the next few months. So I look forward to seeing you then. Bye.
Welcome back. Hope you're having a lovely morning. I'm very excited for Sewing Street Christmas shows. I'm finding out a bit more about it later on, actually. So hopefully I will, we'll be revealing all soon. I know that I am because we've got Christmas jumpers and all sorts arrived in today. So I'm sure we'll be talking about it very soon, which is brilliant because I suppose, as Cara said, in the sewing world, we do have to think a bit ahead, don't we, and get all of our makes done, whether it be decorations or gifts. And especially with this year, the way it's been so far, I think we have got to be a bit more sort of, we've just got to be a bit more sort of organised, haven't we? Be a bit more organised. I certainly want to be a bit more organised than I normally am. Right, so this hour we've got all sorts to bring you. Extra wide backing fabrics. Yes, I love them, and every single time I am here, Hannah's normally saying to me, oh, that one's sold out and that one's sold out. No, sorry, we've only got half a metre of this left. So I'm so pleased that we've actually got stock availability on extra wide backing fabrics. We've got a lovely rainbow panel and my favourite ruler back in stock. So when it comes to quilting rulers and creative grid rulers in particular, I'm an absolute advocate. I love creative grid rulers. I think they are brilliant at what they do, and the reason being is because they're designed by quilters, so they know everything that we need. They have the right measurements, they're precise, and they're extremely accurate. The amount of times that I have seen lots of people who work in the industry or lots of hobby sewers who may have not worked with creative grids before, who've converted to creative grid and stayed with creative grids. The great thing about Sewing Street is we offer you lots of different choice of different brands, but it's not very often that I'll sort of be quite biased towards a brand, whereas with creative grids, if I'm being brutally honest, personally, I am quite biased towards creative grids. I think they're fantastic for a number of reasons. As I said, their precision and their accuracy is on point, but also their safety. When you're working with a rotary cutter, they are extremely sharp. I'm quite accident prone, as you'll see in a second from my hands. You don't want to look at them, but I've got cuts and all sorts everywhere. And I think those, look, I've literally cut my finger here, cut here. I'm quite accident prone. So putting me with a rotary cutter, I want to make sure I'm working as safely as possible. And it is important because always cut away from yourself, never cut towards you. I've seen some horrific, tingly, horrible pictures from on the fan page of people who have cut themselves with a rotary cutter, and it's not nice. So whatever you do, I know a lot of people say, oh, you know, you never realise that you shouldn't until you do it. Do not even risk it. Anyway, rant over. The reason that I love creative grids because of their safety is they have non-slip grip. So one, accuracy again. It's going to mean that the fabric isn't going to be slipping and sliding, meaning you're going to slip with the cuts, and therefore you're going to have to cut again. It is going to adhere to your fabric, but also it's going to be nice and safe for you to use your rotary cutter. As between every ½ inch, there is a slot. So it starts with a little teardrop groove, which your rotary cutter slots into, and then it's a really lovely straight line right up to 13 inches. So this particular ruler is 20 inches by 13, but it is the same size as the original Stripology, but it's got extra measurements. So when I first saw this, I thought, extra large, I'm sure it looks the same size. And it is, but they've added extra bits and bobs to it. So it's basically two of the most popular Stripology rulers mixed into one. The Stripology Square, which you can see that you've got your black solid lines here, which is your full inch, and then you've got the white lines that you can see there, which is your ½ inch. So 4.5, 6.5, 8.5, 10.5, 12.5. Perfect for squaring up your blocks, which we'll talk about in a second. But also a difference to the Stripology ruler and the Stripology XL is that you've now got these extra dashed lines all the way around the perimeter of the ruler. So then if you've got more intricate cuts or tricky sizes, like, for example, 2.25 or 2.5 inches or 2 3/4, you can line up your fabric to that dashed line along the edge and make those cuts appropriately. Also, another addition in the extra large Stripology ruler is the fact that you've got your 60-degree and you've got your 45-degree angle. So if you think about this, you don't just cut strips from this. From strips, you can cut squares. From squares, you can cut triangles. From strips, you can cut diamonds or hexes and all sorts. I mean, the possibilities are endless, hence why they're called creative grids. I've taken this just from this bundle for a second so you can see all the markings, because next to the mat you couldn't really see very clearly. But I really like that no matter what fabric you've got underneath it, as you've got the white dashes and you've got the black markings, you're always going to be able to see your measurements really accurately. So should we do some cutting? Because creative grid, when you get this, it comes with a little slip, which I always lose, and I tell you not to lose. It will come with a slip that will come with a QR code, so you can watch on YouTube all of the demonstrations from Creative Grids. The QR code actually, no, not on the rule on this one. It's on the little pamphlet with it. But keep hold of it because there's so much that you're going to be able to do with this. What else was I going to tell you? Oh, it also says on the front that it will reduce your cutting time by 70%, which is crazy, isn't it? What I love about this size ruler, we will be looking at smaller rulers. We've got a mini Stripology. If you're doing smaller pieces, if you've got smaller cuts, if you're working on smaller blocks, then that's handy. It's nice to take on the move. It is a big ruler, but it means that if you are looking at your half-metre cuts, or if you're looking at your full width with your quilting, it means that you can cut the selvage off and you can cut the full width of the fabric without having to move it. So, I mean, I've got a smaller cut here. It was just one that's in our little. I know it is Moda, so I daren't use the word scraps because that is not a scrap, it's a big piece, but I just wanted to be able to show you that you can cut, obviously your selvage off. If you're getting half meters, obviously sometimes they cut off the bolt, they might not be always completely straight, so you want to make sure that you're squaring it up nicely. There's lots of different lines that you can line up at the top, but always start with cutting your zero first. So I'm just lining this up with the big solid black line that's running along the bottom of the Stripology ruler, and I'm going to put my rotary cutter into that little teardrop down here. Now, you can cut multiple layers of fabric depending on how sort of confident you are, how many strips you need. If you like John Cole Morgan, I know that he likes speedy cutting and get to the sewing. He would be comfortable in cutting through much more than me, especially as I'm a little bit shorter than John. So doing it at this angle, I'm just going to go through the 2 layers. So anyway, I can continue to cut. I'm not going to because I don't want to waste this gorgeous fabric, but you can check that you cut all the way across. Look at me, I'm not going to have done it. Oh yeah, I have. So there I've got 2-inch strips, very precise, ready to go. I'm just going to move these to the side for a second and just work on this one. So I've got 2-inch. Obviously from my 2-inch squares, 2-inch strips, I can cut squares. So I'd line these up, and once again, I could cut into squares. So I could also take a strip. Let's use one of these lines because this is a new addition to the XL ruler. If I line that up along the 60-degree angle that's running along the ruler, again, I'm going to start with the 0. I've cut 2-inch strips, so I'm going to stick with 2-inch again. Cutting at 0 first. 2, 4. What I like about it as well is a lot of patterns call for 2.5-inch cuts. So this eliminates a lot of the maths for you. As at the bottom part here, you've got a little key that says 2.5-inch cuts follow the squares. So you don't even need to think about it. You can just look for those squares and cut and cut and cut the whole strips. It reduces the time massively. You're not having to reposition your fabric, you're not having to reposition your ruler, you're not having to think about it in your head. You've literally got the key there for 1.5-inch cuts as well. So now I've cut my little diamonds. So from there, I'm going to take my diamond. So you could use these obviously for 6-point stars. If you're doing different, if I were to carry on cutting, if you were to do tumbling blocks, different colours, you can do tumbling blocks with lights and shades of different, can you see what I mean? Different fabrics. You could also take your diamond. I'm going to put it on one that's got a nice big solid line. So let's go 4. And I'm going to cut 1 inch either side. So I'm going to put that right through the centre. Take a second to line it up. Remember, you can stack up loads of these and you can very, very quickly and very accurately, I'm going to cut 1 inch either side, cut off my little triangles, which, by the way, nothing goes to waste. I'd keep these for my bunting, maybe. You know, like we've just seen with free motion, you've got nice little triangles and you got hexes. So quickly you can cut squares, strips, obviously, strips into squares, into diamonds, into hexes, into triangles. I could cut these in half and have my 60-degree triangles, 90-degree triangles you can do, half square triangles, loads and loads and loads that you can do with the Stripology ruler. And in fact, I know a lot of people who have used this ruler and have created the most incredible quilts with it. It is one of those, as I said, get creative. You can start designing your own quilts. You can start designing your own blocks, and it will reduce your cutting time a lot by, well, up to 70%, Creative Grids have said, which is fantastic. The only bit of advice I would give you is to get a big enough mat. My mat at home wasn't big enough for mine, so I have had to invest in a bigger mat. This mat is absolutely ideal. If you've got the space for it, definitely get one of these mats because you can be doing all sorts alongside your cutting as well. It's huge, but you do want to make sure that it's going to be bigger than your ruler. So it's £61.99, which I understand sounds a bit of an investment, but when you see the precision and the accuracy that you'll get as a result of it, I think it's a no-brainer. There's so many people who I know absolutely love this Stripology ruler. Remember, that's only half of it. You then spin it around, and when you've got your blocks, you can then square them up. So whether you're working with 1/2 inch to the 1/2 inch block, you've got trimming 1/2 inch blocks as a sized block, so 4.5 inch. You've got your lines here and your very, very clear markings. If you want to do it as full inch, you've also got, remember, the black solid lines here as full inch. So there's your 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, up to 12 inch blocks you could trim on this ruler very easily, very quickly, and very accurately. Just £61.99. Honestly, the amount of times I've been saying, is it back in stock yet? Is it back in stock yet? We've been talking about the smaller one. I said today to Kat, she said, oh, we've got Stripologies today. I said, is the extra large one back in stock? She said, no, not back in stock yet. And she's literally just checked during the show and she says, it's back in stock. So I got very excited about this one. Don't get me wrong. You might be wanting to try maybe the smaller one first. If you can afford to do it, I would definitely get the larger that you can because it's going to bring you lots of opportunities of cutting full 1/2 metre widths of fabric. Definitely worth making the most of it. Do you want to do the mini one next? So the mini one is really, really good because exactly the same. It's just if you're working with smaller blocks. Now, let me have a go at trying to do multiple layers. I might be going too thick here, actually. Let me go here. Victoria Carrington loves this one. And she's got both sizes. And she said at the start, I was thinking, oh, I don't know whether I'm going to need both sizes. But actually, if you're working on a smaller, block, then this is ideal because obviously you can still fold it to fit into here. So what I like about this one is, again, you've got all of your full inch, 1/2 inch, but you've also got the dashed lines that say 1/8 of an inch and 3/8 of an inch. So if you're then cutting this, say you want to do 1 and 3/8, because patterns call for such strange, peculiar sizes sometimes, don't they? And they're quite. This is the great thing about Creative Grids, is that they know what quilt patterns call for. So if it's 3/8, 1 and 3/8, you can butt that along the dashed line along here. And if I cut to the 1, let me make sure that's there. Remember, you've got your non-slip grip just as before. So if you press that down, it will just engage onto the fabric and it will reduce it from slipping. Sorry, I do just want to make sure that I'm not going to. So that is now a perfect 1 and 3/8 of an inch strip. From there, once again, you can then, of course, subcut from them. If I spin this around, because this one's got the turnaround feature, you've got really, intricate measurements again. So 1/4 of an inch, 3/4, 1 1/4, 1 3/4. So if you're using this dashed line this time, that's your 0 mark. If you line that up, then you know your cuts are going to be every 1/4. Is that correct? Yeah, so you've got, there you go. If I cut here, then that's going to be a perfect 1/4 of an inch. If you cut across here, then that's 3/4 of an inch, 1 1/4 of an inch. So it's so easy to eliminate the workings out. I know I sound a bit faffy with it, but the reason is because I'm so bad at maths that I'm almost like doubting myself. And it's like, no, just go with it. Don't doubt the ruler. Creative Grids have done all the maths for you. They've done all the working out for you. It is ever so clear. And it's one of those rulers that they hold your hand along with it. So there's so many great videos on YouTube. There's so many online. I really recommend Creative Grid rulers. I'm a huge, huge advocate of them. We have also got the squared one available on the website. It's definitely worth having a look at that one. If you do enjoy squaring up any of your blocks, then that's a good one to have. Now, should we do the extra wide? We got extra wide backing, which I just find absolutely amazing. So useful for your stash. We've got 2 big old piles. Which one do you want to start with? We'll start with the shadow effect. This has almost got like a bit of a mottled look to it. Green to start with. We call this quilt backing. Yes, ideal for quilt backing because you're not having to piece it. You're not having to use up your stash. You're not having to it is going to save a lot of time, isn't it? But let me show you how wide this is. I'm going to pin it onto the mannequin here. I'm only going to show it once, and then all the others are exactly the same width. It is this wide, 280 centimetres wide. I mean, that is a lot of fabric, which sort of opens up my mind to think, right, yes, quilt backing, very, very useful. What about other things? What about a giant crocodile toy? What about a teepee for a child's den? What about huge play mats? What about cushion bags? What about bag making? What about to be able to make loads of binding, bias binding? Remember, at £8.99, look at how much cotton you're getting. Gorgeous, gorgeous, extra wide fabric. Literally came into stock the other day. Already limited. Whenever we get it in, it always sells out. And the reason being, I think, is because there's a lot of people who are, of course, finishing quilts that might have been UFOs for the last years in cupboards and drawers. You spend a lot of time doing the top of your quilt tops and your patchwork. You want to make sure that you're giving the back a lovely, lovely finish as well. So having not as many pieced backs, or if you want to make sure that you've got that lovely block colour, even at the front of a quilt, if you want to practice your free motion, if you want to practice your ruler work, if you want to use it for home furnishings, it's always going to come in really, really useful, isn't it? Applique as well, you could do lovely trees with this. We've literally got 16 metres left. Sounds a lot, it's not. 16 metres left. There's a lot of fabric stores that I know that, of course, don't have the space. They just wouldn't have the space to stock them. If you imagine they come on massive bolts, absolutely massive bolts. So we're really lucky that we have the warehouse facility that we do to be able to stock all of these different colours. Even in, the real specialist quilting shops, you might get extra wide backing. It's not very often that they have the space to stock them all. And look at all of these we got for you today. This is why it's always very popular. We've now got sand. So I believe that this one, I think it was out of stock last time I was on air. This is so nice because this is going to go really well with all of your traditional quilts as well, isn't it? Going to go with everything, in fact. I love that almost mottle effect. Your shadow sand, it's extra wide, it's 280 centimetres, which is 108 inches wide. So if you think about that, normally you're looking at 112 centimetres. This is 280 centimetres, £8.99. Write this down to 2 metres, down to 2 metres. Whoever checks out first will get it. Remember, it's going to be cut off the bolt, especially for you. And that is one of the most useful colours, as is, in fact, the grey that's coming up next. Right, I'm just going to fold it up because this is going to sell out. We'll always try and get them back. It's definitely worth typing extra wide onto the website, extra wide fabric, and see what comes up. But it's always limited. It comes in and disappears, doesn't it? The grey. I'm thinking for bag linings, just to be able to have it in your stash, that when you're buying kits or you love a certain fabric and you're thinking, oh, I really want to make a bag with this. For example, I mean, look, I've just got a pile of fabrics here, and straight away, if I'm thinking, right, I want this as a bag, of course, this is going to go perfectly for the lining, isn't it? £8.99.5 metre. So if that's your front of your bag, this is going to be ideal for the lining. If you're getting this one for a bag, it's going to be ideal for the lining. No, I think all of the fabrics are going to blend really, really well. Every one of them. They all look gorgeous with this. I could just keep going and going and going. It'd be a great background, or if you're thinking of doing borders or sashing within a quilt, I think it's going to be one that just works, just goes with everything. There is, how much left of this one, sorry? 10 metres left. If somebody wants 3 metres, and then, someone wants 4 metres, it is going to be on and gone. On and gone, especially at that price. I don't know what sort of set the tone with these prices. We did it with was it the Crossroads one or the squiggly one? And we said, there's something wrong with that price. It won't come back at that price. And yeah, we've kind of set the bar now, haven't we? Extra wide backing fabric for £8.99. Bearing in mind, you can see regular, the regular width fabric still at that price per half metre. I've got black next. Shadows, 100% cotton, this time in black. This is going to look so dramatic. Imagine doing some amazing applique on the front with some really bright rainbow colours, or just having it in your stash ready for Christmas projects. You could do some beautiful quilting in metallic gold, couldn't you? Golds and silvers. Or, the Gutermann threads that we've had. We were talking about doing free motion quilting earlier. Imagine just diving in. They're all going to go. They're all going to really stand out against the black. I must say, I do like a dramatic black background on quilting. I think it really, really is amazing. But cool as well for, maybe you want to make yourself a nice blackout blind. £8. 19.5 metre. I'd probably have this as well as linings for bags, purses and things like that, because I always get a biro that's burst in the bottom of a bag. So that's going to really hide all of that, isn't it? What about a big bean bag? Oh, yeah. Footstool. Yeah. See, a bean bag could look really cool, and you could even do it. I mean, it's going to go with all sorts, but I'm thinking like quite bright pom-poms round it or something. Do you know what I mean? I'm really into my pom-poms at the minute. Everything I'm seeing on Instagram and Pinterest has got all these big pom-poms on. I made you a key charm, didn't I? Should we do, I've just trodden that, haven't I? There we go. The red. So, you've seen the advert coming up. Christmas makes coming up. I tell you something. We will be very, very lucky if we get to see this when we do our Christmas show. I've got a feeling this will have sold out. And of course, with everything that's going on in the world at the moment, we're struggling to get things in quite quickly. So make the most of this. What about Christmas advent calendars, garlands, a shirt, Christmas shirt? You could do a huge sack ready for all of the prezzies Santa's bringing. £8.99, sorry, £8.99 for 280 centimetres wide fabric. It's gorgeous. Make loads of this. Could make a Santa full suit with it, couldn't you? That's so much. What about little bags? I think we're all thinking a bit more about sustainability and, using fabrics instead of using wrapping paper, or using fabrics to make Christmas decorations or gift bags. These are ideal, aren't they? Or like wine bag, tote bags. Something that someone's going to reuse. £8.99. You can make a really nice Christmassy, like pet bed, couldn't you? Dog bed. That'd be cool. £8.99, you can't go wrong. I'm thinking Christmas just because I keep seeing this advert going out that we're going to be doing Christmas makes soon. But also, even if you're subcutting this, using it with your traditional red and white quilting, that'd look really nice as well. Right, remember they are all extra wide. Same width again, this time slightly different pattern. We've got red, blue and green. Ooh, how exciting. Holidays are coming, holidays are coming. Which one next? Red? Let's stick with Christmas. Toy making, bag making, cushion fronts, cushion backs, quilt backs, play mats, toiletry bags, Christmas makes, things for your craft fair stools. Stools. Just like footstools. Yeah, we like the irregularity of the crisscross. Crossroads, crossroads, crossroads. £8.99. It's the same width again. It's really, really wide. Extra wide indeed. So whether you are thinking about finishing off a project that's been up in a cupboard for a long time, you're like, right, it's time to actually quilt this one. Maybe it's for a gift for somebody. It's always handy to be able to have that instead of having to raid through your stash and piecing from your stash. Really good idea to be able to have, you know, less seams. It's going to look lovely and neat, isn't it? £8.99. That's the red. I've also got green. Limited on all of these, by the way. Here is your green, extra wide. This is the one I'll always remember Hannah saying to me, I just want someone to make a gigantic crocodile. You know, like a big toy alligator or a snake or dragon or something. You could have it as also as a big long draught excluder, couldn't you? Or what about having it as trees? I mean, you could always sort of cut out templates of trees and leaves and things like that. You don't necessarily need to think about it as a crossroads, as that cross print. When you're cutting it out, subcutting it, appliquing it, do all sorts. Would be nice though for maybe things like laptop cases or an iPad case. It's got quite like an officey feel to it, I think. So what about things like storage boxes and covering your computer stool cover, seat cover with it, something like that. But really nice. Just £8.99 for 280 centimetres. Wide fabric. .8 metres is about 4 times my height, yes. Thanks, Joe. Honestly, I honestly think I am getting smaller. Someone said to me the other day, I swear you've got smaller. I think I honestly have. And the blue, oh, this is beautiful. I'd definitely use this as a background of a quilt, sashing or borders. What about binding? This would make really, really lovely binding as well. £8.99. Half metre, remember, is 2.8 metres wide, 108 inches wide. It's here, got it. That's a lovely blue as well, aqua blue. Really gorgeous colour. Okay, right, they are all the extra wide backing fabrics I think that we've got available in the whole of the company, in the whole of the stock. So it's definitely worth checking out, even if you're trying us out for the first time. At £8.99 half metre, that is a lot of fabric to get started with, isn't it? Even making like masks and also, there's loads that you can do with cotton fabric like this, isn't there? They're really lovely. Okay, so shall we do our Starville? Now, this is the first time we've had it because this is different to the sewing foam that I've seen in the past. It feels quite similar, but then the one side of it feels slightly rougher. So judging by the name, I presumed that it's got like a glue fixing, and it does. We're reading on the Vaseline website as it is an official Vaseline product. The one side of it, you will feel it when you get it home, is slightly rougher than the other. So if you press this with an iron, it recommends for about 12 to 15 seconds. If you want to, you can use a pressing cloth, or if you've obviously got your fabric on the one side, so you can do it with the fabric side attached to it and iron on that way. It is going to adhere to your fabrics, and that is, I believe, a permanent hold. So I would still obviously stitch it down, but it is going to be really nice and easy to get that great structure, whether you're doing bags, if you're doing things like, I know that we've done something similar, well, I've seen something similar, that we've created this shape to do a cat bed. You could do, so dog beds, it's got really lovely structure for that. It is all made out of synthetic materials, and it's a really lovely, quite dense, sort of fleecy loft. It's really great for structure. Great for mobile phone cases, pouches, glasses cases. It's going to protect what's in there as well, isn't it? It's going to protect what's in there. So if you're making a bag that you're going to keep your sewing machine in, or if you're making a bag that's going to keep your tools in, your rotary cutters and scissors and all things like that you're going to your workshops in, I think that's going to give it a really, really lovely protection as well. £6.99. Now, just so you know, it will come cut like this. So it's 1/2 metre, and it's already been pre-cut. So you'll receive it already cut like that. £6.99. Oh, what else was it that I wanted to tell you about? Oh, with Cara's bag, she was saying that it was all squashed up in her bag, and it almost just jumps back out to its right shape without creasing. So if you're using this with a cotton, or a poplin weight cotton, a lighter weight cotton, or something that's going to crease a bit easier, if you're using that, it's absolutely ideal. It's going to stop it from creasing. Love that. Okay, so that's £6.99. Now, I did just flash up a couple of these pattern fabric, and they're already selling on the website. So, should we do a few of these? This is beautiful. Can I go straight to the roses, Jo, which is... Yeah, you've got it. How stunning is this? Roses Are Red, this is called. It's beautiful. It looks like a digital print, doesn't it? Looks like a digital. Oh, look at the deep reds. Oh, I love that. That will go really, 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 really nicely with your extra wide backing fabric. I'm thinking either your green, your grey, your red, or your black. It would look really, really nice with any of those. £5.99. I would like a dress, please. I would love a dress made out of that. That's so pretty. That's £5.99 1/2 metre. I am flying through these, even if you were to fussy cut them. Look at all the roses you've got, and they're so detailed. This one is your blues. It's CIYH 86. Summer Days, Dandelions. Again, I'm thinking dressmaking today. That would be really nice for a lovely summer dress. Your chance to buy the 1/2 metre, even though it is quilting weight cotton, absolutely fine for dressmaking. Lovely for bag making as well. That would make a nice tote bag. Just a real simple tote bag. Cushions you could do. Soft furnishings again. 4 metres of this left available. That's it, just 4 metres. I've also got the tulips. Are they tulips? I'm so bad with flowers. Lilies! They're lilies. Excuse me. This is your lily scatter, 100% cotton. Once again, I feel like that looks... I feel like that's... what sort of lilies are they? They're so lovely, aren't they? I must say, I love lilies to look at. I think I'm slightly allergic to them, though. They're a bit messy, aren't they? Unless you cut the... you have to cut the little bits out. So, I'm thinking, somebody who loves lilies, it'd be lovely to have a cushion or something, or a bag, wouldn't it? Because they're so pretty. It'll go really nicely with the sand shadow extra wide fabric. We put that with it earlier on. I've also got the same one, but with the single lilies. Just so you can see the difference. They're nicer coating with, actually. They're really lovely quality cottons. You can feel that. £5.99 a half metre. Once again, it looks like a digital print. They're so clear. Half a metre for £5.99. I'm ever so sorry that we are... What's the time then? Why are we going... Whew, how is it already 1:45? Sorry, I've been a bit all over the place today. These were supposed to be in the 9 o'clock hour, weren't they? Dear read me. This is lovely for... Do you know the kneeling store, the gardening kneeling store that we saw with Cara's book earlier on? Debbie Shaw's making book. This would be really, really nice for something to do with the garden, whether it be like a gardening apron or things in the kitchen, actually. Or conservatory. Oh, I'm going to just keep going on. Conservatory, living room, on the go, little backpack, a dress, a little girl's dress, big girl's dress. A blouse, Joe. I look lovely as a blouse. Just £5.99. And it does go really, really well again with the sand extra wide backing. I love that. Look at the little slug. It is a slug. Slug. Snail. Snail, hedgehog, butterfly. So cute. Birds. Where? Snowman. Oh, I love that. Have you watched Frozen 2? Joe, you need to watch it. Oh, I think this is going to be very, very popular. How cool is this? Your camper vans. Summer holidays. This is retro summer holidays. I'm thinking a big travel bag. A lovely big weekend bag. I really, really, really am in the mood to go camping. I haven't been, properly camping for a long, long time, and I'd love to go. Saw it on a telly programme yesterday. I said to Kieran, can we go camping? Look, with the surfboard, the brolly. It looks so idyllic, doesn't it? I think the reality of it is quite different. And I maybe understand the reason that he says, no, Vic, you won't like it. I was like, no, I will. I think I really will. In a caravan like this, it'd be fab, wouldn't it? Maybe not in my pop-up one-man tent. I once went to a festival camping and hadn't been camping before. My first time I went, so I took one of those pop-up tents, those quick throw-me-up ones, and I bought a blow-up bed, and I thought, right, I'll blow the bed up. I couldn't even fit it in the tent. They're like, everyone looking around me like, you've never done this before, have you? And I couldn't fit any of my things. Luckily, I got on really well with these random new people that I met next to me, that they let me keep all my food, all my things. I got ready in everyone's tent. Oh, I was so bad at it. But I want to have another go. I feel more prepared now. Yeah, now I'm a bit older and wiser. I think it's watching that, Fred and Gino and Gordon Ramsay in that big RV. That looks amazing, doesn't it, going round? I haven't seen Bradley Walsh and his son. Is that one a good one? I love Bradley Walsh, though. I once met him in Birmingham. Only just in the shopping centre. He complimented Kieran before he complimented me. He said he liked Kieran's coat. Probably the coat, yeah. He always wears like this big coat that he thinks is going to the... He's off to the Antarctic and he wears it on the hottest days of the year, but he thinks he looks really cool. Just because Bradley Walsh told him it's a good coat. Look, this one's gorgeous as well. Oh, it's getting us all excited for maybe this year going out to... the UK holiday, something we can look forward to, hopefully. What's that? I want one of these. The VW campers. They're so cool. Look at that. When you're 40, that's quite precise. When Joe's 40, he's going to buy a VW camper wagon. He's going to transform it. He's going to do one. Oh, that's cool. £5.99. That is lovely, isn't it? I'm thinking nice little, what about like a travel wallet, or you could do a cushion for having in the back of the car. Love it. Absolutely love that. Right, we've got one other. This is a nice colour. What colour would you call this? Like a sagey. Moss it's called. Oh, this is nice. I'm thinking, you know, with your Starville dog bed, because they're like paw prints, aren't they, almost? You see what I mean? They are almost. You could almost cut them out and make paw prints, applique them. That's so cool. I haven't seen a Dalmatian for ages. Has anybody seen a Dalmatian? I haven't seen them for so long. £5.99. It's such a lovely colour. That's like a lovely chartreuse almost, isn't it? Are you getting a cat, Joe? £5.99. That would be a nice polka dot skirt or a polka dot blouse. That'd be really lovely. Very, very nice. Right, so they're all the fabrics that we have got by the half metre. Have a look on the web shop if you want to have a look at any more. So earlier on, we launched this thread pack. We absolutely love it. You're getting 30 of your spools for less than £40 in a really lovely nostalgic tin. I think you're really going to love this. The colours as well. Colours are amazing. What's that? Where do you want it, Joe? We'll just wait for Joe. He's really slow. Oh, I know. Am I allowed to tell everybody? We're moving to a new big studio and we're so excited. Although, I was thinking, are you going to be this close to us? Are you still going to be in a gallery directing next door? You're going to be next door. That's good. $39.99. So in here, you ready? Whoops. £39.99. And all of the lovely, real sort of essential colours that you're going to use. They're really useful, bright colours, aren't they? Well over half, now gone. I'm surprised that we've got this, actually, because Cara, my word, she had her eye on it, didn't she? We had to prize it off her at the end of the show. Leave it. Just for her eyes, she was like, we were like, no, Cara. $39.99. Shaz, I can put that away if you want. We're like, no, it's all right, we haven't finished with it yet. Great, because you can use this as you sort of sew all thread. So if you do a bit of everything, if you are a bag maker, a dressmaker, a quilter, you like hand sewing, you do applique. If you like to do a bit of everything, you can use this in your sewing machine for piecing, in your bobbin, you can use it for your hand sewing for EPP, the greys are great. You've got some lovely bright colours if you want to have a go with your free motion quilting. If you want to have a go at any ruler work as well. There's so many uses for your sew all Gutermann thread, polyester thread. You do get 100 metres on each spool, so that is 3,000 metres of thread for less than £40 and in a nice little tin. It makes it just £1.33 a spool, which is spoiling you. Normally you would see Gutermann threads between £1.60 and £2 from my experience. So I think that's really great value for money, and especially as a nice gift for somebody in a lovely lovely tin. I like tins like this. You know when you get a real nice box of a biscuit tin and you use them there. Well, it's always a bit deceiving, doesn't it? When you see like a biscuit tin, you think, oh, there's shortbreads in there, and actually no, you've got something else in there. Something different, and we're like, oh, I thought I was going to have biscuits. But then I do like rummaging through like buttons and things like that. You could keep lots of buttons in there. Okay. We've got a whole rainbow of fabrics. So we've got the blues, the greens, and the berries. So I'm guessing it's this, this, and this. So, greens to start with. I know that John Cole Morgan was talking about these with if you've worked from the gemology book, if you've seen any of his gemology blocks, then these would be ideal for all of the different facets to be able to get these gorgeous colours. Whether you're using them for a project, you know they work really, really well together, or whether they're individual and you're going to applique, maybe take out some, cut out your own shapes and do applique, however you want to use them. £12.99. So we've got chartreuse and emerald. Only available in the bundle. They are actually sold out by the half metre. We've bundled as many as we can. They are already pre-cut into half metres. You've then also got mint, which is also available on the website by the half metre. And then this one is called Jade. That's a gorgeous colour, isn't it? That would look really, really nice with the aqua. They're nice together. Really lovely together. So that's your greens. Your blues. With this one, again, you're getting those really great different tones. Like I was saying with the extra wide backing fabrics earlier on, lots of fabric stores, don't get me wrong, they might stock a blue or a couple of shades of blue, but they might not have this whole sort of range. And if you are wanting to match it up with one of your fabrics like this, for example, you can really pull on whatever colours you want. It's going to give you a bit of a helping hand. So they're your blues. You get in here powder blue, peacock, cadet blue and marine. I believe they are all available by the half metre as well on the website. So if there's one of those that is sort of, you're thinking, oh, that's the ideal colour for a project that you've got on the go at the moment, have a look on the web shop as they're all available individually by the half metre as well. The grapes, berries, same thing. We've got amethyst, available by the half metre on the website. You get half a metre in this bundle. It's already cut, pre-cut. Also, raspberry, pomegranate, and fuchsia. Fuchsia's the light one, which I know confuses some people, but no, it is that one. It's really lovely. They're all half metre pre-cuts. That would make a beautiful, beautiful Bargello all round the world. Just £12.99 for all 2 metre fabric. So if you are thinking of going alongside with a designer fabric, that would be ideal. Don't forget, talking of fabrics, today we launched that brand new gorgeous Moda range, which was very, very popular earlier on at 9 o'clock. Have a look underneath us on the web, as there are now very limited numbers on that whole mega bundle, and it was brilliant, brilliant value for money. In fact, the graphics, Joe is going to find them in a second so we can put them live for you. I haven't got the fabrics. There it is. Oh, thank you, Kat. £58.99. Gorgeous range of fabric from Christopher Wilson Tate. Have a bit of a research into Christopher. He is very, very interesting indeed. We are on a mission to get him on the show. If you know him, if you're watching Christopher, message in, come and join us. He looks lovely and he's a wealth of knowledge on antique quilts, so we'd love to hear about that inspiration. But anyway, definitely make the most of the mega bundle, as there's less than 10 of those. The large beechwood ruler rack, I will always say, it's been around here the whole day with rulers on galore. This is one of my favourite products when I talk about Debbie, because I'll never forget when I was watching Debbie and I saw her go rogue. And those of us that love Debbie and know Debbie, so very often that our Debs goes rogue, and she did with this. So she had a ruler that was literally half the size and had 1, 2, 3, 4 slots, and she told you not to buy it. It was £10.99 and she said don't buy it, and I was watching going, oh my word, what is happening? I've never seen Debbie do this before. And then it was because she bought this on, which was double the size with an extra slot for £1 more. It's got the little feet as well, so it's going to protect your table. But we always talk about storing your rulers correctly, storing them nice and flat, and they will last the test of time. If you look after these tools and you look after your rulers, then yes, they will look after you. So your Beechwood large ruler rack, the one that Debbie recommends, is just £11.99. It always sells out. Always sells out. Last time I was on air, in fact, we only had the smaller one. So whilst that is available, if you've already opened your order, only 1p&p all day long today. Definitely worth checking out. And as I say, you can come back later on this evening. If you're watching on a replay or if you're flicking through on the website, you can still remember to check out All Day with Only One P&P. Tomorrow's show is going to be brilliant. I'm back with you. We've got me, Kat and Laura. It's all the girls tomorrow. And we've got a brilliant day with lovely Faye. Faye's going to be back with her second show. She's going to be making another hat. This time it's a flat cap at 8 o'clock. She's brilliant, you know. She's a theatrical costume. You'll get on with her. You will get on with her, Kat. Just theatrical costumes. At 9 o'clock, we've got Fabulous Fabrics. 10 o'clock, we've got Mrs. V-neck top with Faye again. And then at 11, we're going to be talking through two of our favourite machines, the 780 Plus and the 680 Plus as well. Plus then, you've got the repeat of today's show, which was Cara's bag that we had earlier on this morning. Those of you that... This was the bag, in fact. Those of you that haven't yet checked out on the kits, you can still do it. Have a look underneath us on the website. If you've bought anything today, still availability at the moment on the early bird. It's definitely worth checking out as soon as you can. But it's been an absolute pleasure. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you're up to. Do make sure you, as I say, check out your baskets. Watch another hour of the replay if you missed yesterday's show. That was with John, I believe. And of course, any questions about any of the Alna machines that we've got on tomorrow's show, if you get them in now, we'll hopefully be able to answer them for you by tomorrow's show. But enjoy the rest of your day. There's another hour, as I say, and before Jewellery Maker takeover. So stay with us. Thank you so much for your company today. I'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early again at 8 o'clock.